If you're playing the intro, I can't hear
Crap. All right.
it. Sorry, I wasn't trying to sit here with dead air because I know there's
No, you're good.
I know there's been a couple times where like it's been playing, but I can't hear it. I just wanted to let you know that if you
Yeah.
are playing it, I don't have it in my headphones, so I didn't want to just sit there for like a minute or so with both of us just kind of looking at
Yeah.
the computer blankly.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Like, so I moving the equipment around probably messed that up too, but
Yeah.
that's all right. We'll figure it out. So oh, well. Anyway, uh, welcome everyone to weekly episode. What's up, Kobe's already in here.
Hey,
Uh,
Halo scars
yeah,
present and accounted for.
yeah.
Hell, Colby's changed his profile picture I think 3 times this week. So
Man, I don't know who's took those photos, but they did some amazing photos of the
yeah,
last game.
they really did.
Yeah,
They should be proud of them. So
some
yeah.
pretty cool shit. So
Oh shit, no judgment here, man. I don't think I've changed my profile picture in like 4 years.
I change mine up every once in a while, but it's been a minute. It's been a minute, so uh,
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
afraid
know.
I'm afraid I put the wrestling one up there or something, and then I'll start getting phone calls again. Going, oh, are you back? Like, no,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, yeah. That's already been hit because I've been posting some gym stuff on my stories, and somebody was already commenting like, "Oh man, you getting back in wrestling shape?" I'm like, "No, I'm getting,
No.
I'm getting in retirement shape, dude." So
There you go. There you go.
I'm gonna hike some mountains and shit, my man. So
For real though, man. I'm glad the weather is finally starting to ease up. I told Angela, I said, man, we got to start getting out for some hikes on the weekends now that it's not so damn
yeah,
miserable outside.
yeah. I seen one up in Michigan in the area we're going to. So I think we're gonna try to hit one of those while we're up there. So I was gonna post a gym update, but I want my
Didn't
didn't want
want
my
my
first
first
responders
responder.
to comment. Mm, wow. Grab the crash cart, you
Yeah, right. Yeah.
know.
Cold blue. Cold blue.
No, that's funny. But yeah, I think out of you guys, Jason's probably the one that stays in the gym the most. It looks like so. He seems like he's pretty fit and stuff. So either that or he just works all of his energy out with the guitar. I don't know, but
Little column A, little column B, probably.
probably. So,
That would be my guess.
yeah, he said, "Sure, we'll go with that." Yeah, man.
I think that's Colby's way of saying he pleads the fifth. So
The fifth, yeah. So, so yeah, if you notice, I got a new little temporary background going on here. We've kind of moved the house around a little, so I'll probably be in this spot for at least a few weeks. So we'll see. We'll see. So I got my sticker board up there with all of my one of my sticker boards. I got another one, but it's not completed yet, so I didn't put it up there. But then I got my Ricky Rackman signed 1 Foot in the Gutter tour poster, and of course Dimebag's there. So then an artist did these. Bought them off of artists like the last Columbia Comic Con that was here.
oh yeah, okay,
Yeah, so he had that one with Alice Cooper and Jason Voorhees, and then he had Rob Zombie there.
Yep.
And then I got the Bear Tooth and Trivium from the last tour with Malevolence and Arkham
Nice.
Collide. So yeah, that's pretty cool poster. Actually, I'm going to get that. I want to get that Static X poster too for the show coming up. That's pretty badass poster too.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. That's very cool.
Yeah, so the house will be full of probably memorabilia where everybody else has pictures of their family. Ours is just going to be metal memorabilia. So.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse. So,
yeah, well, not like we don't have pictures. We just
Yeah.
They're just not blowed up. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I
And
actually.
I don't know if anybody even does shit like this. Is Olin Mills or like anything like that still even
Well, you
around?
mean like Olin Mills and glamour shots and shit like that?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Like the J.C. Penney portrait studio.
Yeah, we
that's
had to.
that's going back a minute.
Yeah, we had to go. We used to go to the Sears. Used to get stuff done at
Sears.
Sears. Yeah,
Yep.
so yeah, that is back a minute. So
That's back a ways.
and Walmart even used to have a photo spot
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
one.
I remember taking Kayla to get some pictures taken when she was a baby. Yeah.
You know, you know.
Yeah. You kids out there, you don't know about that. Having to go
So,
somewhere and actually pay someone to take pictures of you and your family and your kids
yeah,
and stuff. So
you know.
you guys wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh, you whippersnappers don't
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, back in 1986, we had to go somewhere to get our
Yeah.
pictures taken.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Hell yeah.
So I guess we can start by talking about you can't see the shirt, but
There you go. Now you can.
yeah, actually the back's pretty cool too. I'll show you the back. So if you can see it,
Yep.
yeah. So
For legacy. Hell yeah, dude.
for legacy, for the fans, for the brothers, it's a really cool show. Of course, Lamb of God opened up, so and actually King Parrot opened up, and then Lamb of God, and then Pantera. And the coolest thing about all that was Phil Anselmo was wearing a King Parrot shirt the whole time. So, so good on him for promoting the smaller band. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that wasn't the only cool thing that happened.
oh well, hell no! So, bunch of cool things happened. I think the walk thing probably is the
That's what I was referring to.
everybody's referring to because Mastodon and Lamb of God both came on stage and was singing parts of that, so it was pretty cool. Didn't even know Mastodon was there, so it was actually pretty surprising to see them
Yep.
come out. Like, oh wow, okay, cool. Of course, I was so far in the grass, we weren't. That's why I told her. I said, I don't think I've been this far from a concert since Starwood. Like this is crazy.
Right.
I'm usually I'm not in the mix, but I'm usually close enough to snap some good shots. So
Right.
it's pretty good ways away. But down in the amphitheater, it's all seats anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't really do a whole lot down there. So everybody was bitching because they can't mosh or nothing. Okay, I mean honestly, there was probably a bunch of old heads down there anyway that didn't want to mosh. So
Probably, yeah. If it's the same amphitheater that I remember from when I went to shows down there, I don't know if it's a new one or not. Because I mean, the last time I was down there, I went to see Slipknot and Lamb of God at the time it was called Hi-Fi Buys Amphitheater. So I don't know if it's the same venue or not. But I mean, if it is, then yeah, it had the same setup that Starwood used to have, seated pavilion with a cover on it, and then the grassy area that went up at an angle behind it.
Yeah, it was exactly set up like Starwood. So
okay, so it might be the same venue just with a different name. So yeah,
the only difference was they had a lot of stuff on the hill. They had a lot of porta potties and then the food and beer and all that. They had all that stuff up on the hill too, so you didn't have to go anywhere and stand in line a long way away. So, I mean, it was really coolly set up. Really well set up because it was all it was almost like if you was looking off the stage, you could see like a whole U shaped of beverages and merch and all that stuff. So it was actually pretty well set up, I thought. So
yeah, well that's good. Colby, stop saying stuff about Jason. I saw a little message on. I'm following the chat on my phone, and it says Jason Honecker is watching. I'm trying to throw.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to throw Colby under the bus.
Don't throw shade over here.
Yeah. So you mean that the concert in Atlanta, they actually had the forethought to have everything they needed for the amount of people that were going to show up?
Oh yeah, well,
I mean, who does that?
Yeah, I mean, people that keep track of ticket sales.
There's some people that wouldn't know about doing that.
Oh well, we'll
We'll
surely get into that shortly.
I was about to say we're gonna get into a little bit more of that here later in the show.
Unfortunately, but
Yeah, it's not going that shit's not going away anytime soon. Unfortunately, I
I
mean,
don't think so. And I got some stuff that I screenshotted too that I wanted to make sure I got into the stories. It's if it's not already in there, of course, but I'll flip through once we do the stories
yeah.
and kind of go from there. There's a newly developed part of everything too that
Mm-hmm.
I need to find. So I'll probably try to search for that part too because I don't know if I screenshotted that or not. I have to look, but
Yeah.
there's a newly developed stuff that's going on that's not even like nobody's reporting on. So that's kind of
There's gonna be there's gonna be
it's
stuff there's gonna be stuff leaking out for weeks. I have a feeling.
well if this goes into the a certain percentage of people affected, then um, oh hey, ain't Amy? So
Hey, Amy, happy Friday
but
from the Metalheads. Yes,
yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
So, but yeah, so if enough people's affected by that, it's gonna actually bring the government in. So that's really gonna be,
Oh,
yeah, that's really gonna be a sticky situation. And I know this from being in the healthcare. So, so once I seen that, I said, "Oh shit, that's not good." So,
yeah.
so but
Well, how the turntables?
well, I mean, like I said, I mean, it's almost we always hear karma's a bitch, and so I mean, eventually,
Hmm.
and I said this on the show before, when I went a couple of years ago, I said if they don't change, it's just going to catch up to them, and I said that. So,
Yeah.
it wasn't like it was, it's not anything new. They've dealt with the same scenario for a couple of years now.
I was
So,
about to say, hell, I was about to say this year is the culmination of at least the last 2 years, if not the last three.
exactly.
So,
So it's definitely
yeah.
it's going to be developing and ongoing for a
Hmm.
little bit. And
Yeah.
like I said, I'm going to touch on it mainly because it ended last week and we didn't cover the last 2 days. So I kind of want to like
Right.
give some feedback from those 2 days and then some updated. Now I got an updated story, of course, that was just done about 4 hours ago. So it's pretty up to date. So
Yeah.
we can kind of go from there. But yeah, I just and I told you, I said, yeah, once we get this out of the way, I'm done with it until something is put out there as a settlement
Hmm.
or lawsuits or whatever comes of it. I'm not going to
Yeah.
really talk about it much until
Right.
some aftermath actually happens. Right now everybody's just talking. So
Right. A lot of people are talking. A lot more people are venting and ranting about what they went through and stuff like
yeah,
that. And that's
and
to
I,
be expected 1 week out from
yeah.
the debacle that it was. So
I think the main thing that's irritating me more is like there's just a lot of repetitive gripes in there that I don't think I think they should just comment on the original and say yeah me too or something just to have a count of because there's actually reporters going through those feeds and trying to pick out stuff that they can use. I mean,
mhm.
if you're just posting the same shit that 50,000 other people's done posted, and
Right.
you're just hurting them trying to get the story together. So, uh, but
That's
there's a
true.
couple of things going on with that, and like I said, we'll get into it more. But I guess we'll kick this thing off and not get too caught up in all that from the get go because it's going to be
Yep.
already going to be a rant. So. Well, I mean, not really a rant, but it's going to, we're going to have some opinions on some of the stuff that's popped up. So,
Hmm.
um, but
Of course.
anyway, so back to the Pantera, Lamb of God, great fucking show. Can't wait to go to the next thing. So, of course, that's the next thing I plan on going to Static X and Seven Dust. So that's up in Murfreesboro there.
That's
So,
up at Hot Springs too, right?
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, so it should be a good little show. So. Uh, but yeah, after that, I think we're going to try to go down to Atlanta again for the at the Roxy to see In This Moment, Nice Nine Kills. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah, so that's like toward her birthday. So I figure I'd just do that for her birthday. So
Oh, see, that'll be nice.
yeah, so spend the night down there or something.
Atlanta really is a cool city.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's man, it's fucked up right now because all the damn construction they're doing and
Yeah, that's kind of perpetual.
And then we seen like a man. It was crazy. We seen like a car like that went up and under an SUV or went up and under a tractor trailer, and I was like, oh my god, dude! Like I was so like I think everybody was okay. I hope they were,
Mm-hmm.
but it was definitely. It looked, I think it looked worse than maybe what it was because
No.
there were people standing on the outside. There was an ambulance on scene, so I don't know if people had got in the ambulance already or what was going on with that. So, but I just like, man, this stuff is crazy. Like they needed any help with having accidents there, but they
Right.
cut down to. It was a weird like setup because it was the lane ran into the merge lane
Mm-hmm.
coming off the exit, and
Right.
it was from like a rest area, so it was trucks, all trucks like pulling out and probably going slow, and they probably trying to go around somebody and didn't see the truck coming in, so
Yeah, that's
uh,
probably a pretty safe bet.
yeah, so patience, drivers, please, patience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially in Atlanta because you're going nowhere fast in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I mean this was like 2 in the morning, so I mean it was
Yeah.
um, was it two? Yeah, probably about 2 in the morning. So, but look at these guys one more time. Hey, that's how you guys should like start the show out, man. Y'all should like start out arm wrestling or something,
Yeah.
and then have Keegan in the background doing drums in the middle of while y'all trying to armor.
Uh,
That's the Halo scars way there. So,
yeah, there it is.
man.
That's funny.
All right, we'll jump into some birthdays here. Not a whole lot, but there's a couple of busy days in here. But from the 9th until the 15th, September 9th, we had Christopher Rigg, vocalist for Ulver and Arcturus, Doug Engel, vocalist and keyboard player for Iron Butterfly, Marcos Curiel, guitarist for POD, and I apologize. Like I said, when I did this album review, I couldn't find a lot of information on these guys. So I just went from following them on socials. Jimmy is the vocalist for Low Life X or Low Life 10. I don't know how they do their theme there, but
Yeah.
but whatever the case is, that's uh, that the vocalist from Low Life X, Jimmy, did have a birthday, so I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it since we did do the album review. So I kind of feel like I at least owe him that. So, anyway, and then on September 10th, Joe Perry, guitarist for Aerosmith, Shane Murphy, drummer for Vacant Voice, Mikey Hayes, vocalist for Fight From Within, and no, not the Bad Street USA, my Freebird Michael Hayes,
Yeah. Right.
but September the 11th, we had Tommy Shaw, guitarist and vocalist for Styx and Damn Yankees. Gidget Gein, guitarist and bass player for Marilyn Manson, unfortunately passed away in 2008. Mark Klopowski, bass player for Breaking Benjamin. Joey King is a road crew member for Existing in Exile. Hey, they all count, right? So there you go.
They absolutely do.
Yeah, if they only had those kind of guys, the Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
Christian Smith, drummer for Fight From Within, they had a couple of birthdays in that band this week. So
Nice.
Quentin Williams, bassist for Locust Grove. And then September 12th, we had Larry Lalonde, guitarist for Primus, Michael Paget, I'm not sure how they Paget, I don't know. Guitarist for Bullet for My Valentine, one of my favorite bands. I keep pronouncing all their fucking names. So fucking Welsh people. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, guys. Gus G, guitarist Firewind and Dream Evil. September 13th, we had Teddy Mueller, drummer for Axe. He unfortunately passed away in 2012. We had Avenia Peace, a drummer for Black Sabbath, among probably 20 other projects, but basically known for Black Sabbath. We had Dave Mustaine. I don't know, he's with this little band, two little bands called Metallica and Megadeth. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but guitarist and vocalist. He was with Metallica from 81 to 83, and then now with Megadeth. So. Then we had Tim Ripper Owens, vocalist for Ice, Earth, and Judas Priest. and I'm going to kill this name because it's Japanese, and I apologize. It's Daisuke Suda, singer for Maximum the Hormone. Kelly Schaefer, vocalist for Atheist. Josh Hennigan, guitarist for Among the Wicked. September 14th, we had Pete Agnew, bassist for Nazareth. Jeff Loomis, metal guitarist for Arch Enemy and formerly but Nevermore. Palo Gregoletto, bassist for Trivium. Paula Caragosa, guitarist for Detonator and Pandora. September 15th, today we had Lee Dorman, bassist for Iron Butterfly. He unfortunately passed away in 2012. And we had Jerry Dixon, bassist for Warrant. That's all that I had. I don't know if you found anything extra that I didn't mention. So,
well, we got to remember that we talked about it on the show last week because we had those two Eyes of the Living birthdays. We had one for the 6th and
you're right.
One for the 11th. So
and the 11th.
We're still not 100% sure whose is whose.
Oh no, I know.
Did you figure it out?
Yeah. He actually commented back. So it's Tim's birthday on the 11th. So
okay, so Tim's birthday.
Yeah, so,
okay,
so I apologize. I did miss Tim's.
Okay, yeah. So. And Amy Tommy Shaw is 70.
Yes.
But yes, Tim. So Tim Swisher, lead singer of Eyes of the Living, his birthday was on the 11th, and then Flat Mike, his birthday was on the 6th.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Which was how you thought that he worded it, so that ended up being the case. So that's cool.
Yep. So that's what I told him too. So I kind of figured the way you said it was the order it was, but I just wanted to make sure. And he's like, "Yeah, that's it." So we're good. So
awesome. Okay, good.
So happy birthday to those. And then, of course, this was a big week for remembrance. We want to our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody that lost a loved one in the attacks on September 11, 2001.
Yep.
We all. I know it's kind of hard to remember it every day of our lives, but we do have that anniversary date that always reminds us that of solidarity in the country, which we need that now more than ever.
Yeah, we really do. I mean, even if we had like half of the solidarity we had on September 12th, I think we'd be doing a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, we don't need a tragedy to bring us together, though.
No, we really don't.
We've had enough of that shit. So,
yeah.
But anyway, those were the birthdays for this week. So, I don't think I had anything. Nope, I don't think I had anything personal. So,
nope, nor I.
All right, I might have to figure out what's going on with this. It's my Facebook. Hold on. I'm just gonna back out of this thing so it don't. All right, I'm just going to close it out so I don't hear no dings.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Kind of annoying. I guess I could have just turned off notifications, but
well, that's true. That's true.
I can follow it on my phone. So
yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing.
So anyway, all right. I guess we can get into some of this groundbreaking news for this week. So then I'll try to search for that one and make sure I got that in my phone whenever we get to that story. So
all right, yeah, I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna start off this week over the PRP, and this one is gonna take a few strange twists and turns. This one is kind of like just at the start, but this one's gonna get strange before it's over. I have a feeling. So over at the PRP.com. It would appear a physical altercation occurred involving members of the Cro-Mags and two members of the staff of Destroy Zine during a recent live concert. Cro-Mags vocalist bassist Harley Flanagan commented on social media of the matter, which looks to have taken place amid the band's concert with DRI at Cafe 611 in Frederick, Maryland yesterday, September 12th. Obviously, this was earlier this week. Speaking last night on social media, Flanagan said, quote, "Great show tonight with DRI with the exception of one incident. A few people that everyone thought was with one of the bands but turned out not to be caused a ruckus, and one of them pulled out mace by the merch table. I got sprayed. My son got sprayed. Everybody in the room was gasping for air, and a few people had to leave. I actually got sliced with a razor or something by the guy on my ass cheek as I was trying to pull him and my son apart. The guy who did it got the shit beat out of him by several people. My eyes were burning and snot was coming out of my nose and I couldn't see. I didn't realize I was cut till I got to the hotel. I just thought my pants got torn. I'm still not sure exactly how or why it all started. But according to everyone at the club, him, his girlfriend, and his friends were being assholes all night. Two of them had ski masks on and were selling magazines and stuff. This is why we all thought they were in or with one of the bands. All I know is that shit did not need to happen and shouldn't have happened. There were kids at the show, a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old, and my friend's 15-year-old son, and they could have been sprayed or hurt. These assholes obviously came to the show for problems because they had mace, a stun gun type baton, and they dropped a bag that had a suture kit with stitches, needles, and iodine in it. So they must have been expecting something. You don't walk around with stuff like that or bring stuff like that to a show unless you're expecting problems or looking for them. I had to play the set with my eyes and skin burning. But besides that, it was a great night and a great show. Thank you all for coming out. I saw a lot of old friends and made a lot of new ones, but that shit was nuts. But I'm not going to let it ruin what was an otherwise good time. DRI put on a great show. I love those guys. Thank you all for the positivity despite that shit. And don't worry, we will be back. Unfortunately, I think we need better security at shows, end quote. Flanagan went on to make a separate post earlier on September 13th showing the wound he apparently received in the fracas. There's pictures of it in the gallery in the story below if you want to take a look at his butt. Quote, I'm just glad that I got cut and not my son. That could have been my son's neck or face. Everyone who was maced and assaulted will be pressing charges. These people contacted us, asked for an interview, were put on the guest list. They showed up in ski masks, armed with mace, a baton, some kind of a stun gun, and a suture kit fell out of their bag with stitches, iodine, and everything that would need to repair a wound. So they obviously came with the intention of starting something. Anybody who saw anything, please step forward. This incident took place before we even got on stage, and there were children in the room who could have been injured, end quote. Members of the Destroy Zine staff, however, are offering a different account on the matter, with one of their staff offering the following post. We were invited by them to do an interview, and not soon after, he made unwanted advances on our editor photographer. He even touched her. She refused his advances and confronted him. So he threatened our lives, and they threatened to break her arm. He also threatened to break our legs. Then he flipped our table, and they all jumped one editor while we tried to get free and save ourselves. Then Harley brought his knife out and threatened us and stole our money. We had to fight for our lives. They attacked us from all sides and even pinned her down. Two people from their crew held our editor photographer down and said they were going to break her arm while Harley got on top of her. 6 people from their crew beat our editor while he was on the ground. We are lucky to be alive and not stabbed because Harley from Cro-Mags is known for stabbing people and raping girls. We didn't know that until after the fact, or else we would have never accepted their invitation to the show. They even claimed to be giving us press passes, but we never saw the passes and they all attacked us. It felt like a premeditated assault on us. A brief clip of video footage from the incident has been circulating online, though it's hard to grasp entirely what happened given the brevity of the footage. In it, several individuals can be seen involved in what appears to be a pair of altercations. Destroy Zine, meanwhile, announced that they intend to apparently publish their account of the incident in their upcoming 3rd issue. A story shared on Instagram by Destroy Zine made claims that the editor was allegedly sexually assaulted and that Destroy Zine staff were robbed of their money. A separate statement issued by Destroy Zine this afternoon reads as follows: a full unfiltered story of what happened yesterday will be announced soon. We are taking our time collectively to gather all of our information and key details to fully entail what went on. We appreciate all your support and reshares. Stick up for yourself and others, especially when they're not around. No one should ever be afraid to be themselves and stick up for others, end quote. A separate post shared this afternoon by Cro-Mags reads as follows. Like I say, this is gonna get weird before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Quote, it's a sad day when a small local zine asks us for an interview, and not knowing who they are, we comp them 3 guest passes to a show, and they come into the club wearing ski masks, carrying clubs and mace, and a kit to stitch wounds. One of them accuses Harley of sexual harassment, and every time someone makes that claim untruthfully, another real victim is fucked at the merch table. In front of dozens of people, all witnesses, and a fight explodes. One of the masked kids sprayed mace at Harley and his son, and everyone around them was sprayed at the same time. All of this happened before the band played in a room packed with people and several young kids. Destroy Magazine will now write whatever they want in their magazine about this and make their false accusations. The people who were assaulted, Harley was maced and slashed with a knife, have all pressed charges in Maryland. We are sad that we were stupid enough to give them 3 free passes to an otherwise great show. We are sad that for attention and readers and to push whatever their ski mask wearing agenda is, they need to use the name of a band with some notoriety. We are sad that this is the time we live in and anyone can say whatever they want to get attention for whatever they are promoting. We apologize to the people who came to hear us play, to hear the opening bands, and DRI. We appreciate your support. We all live in this social media cesspool now where anyone can say anything for attention, but we know what happened, as do dozens of witnesses, the cameras from inside the venue, and so do the police. Thank you again for all the love and support. See you tonight. End quote. And that's what I'm kind of hoping. I'm hoping for everyone involved, like however it started, whatever. I'm hoping there is enough security camera footage to go around to you know we always say there's three truths: their truth, and then the real truth is in the middle.
Right.
So we need to find out exactly what happened. But man, this thing is gonna get really, really strange. And today there was another story, another story that another new statement, rather, I should say, from Harley Flanagan that came out. But I'm not gonna read that because it's basically just kind of rehashing more or less what
Mm-hmm.
happened. So it just you know goes over a lot of the same stuff. I will read this one excerpt though. Flanagan, in front of his son, said, "Looks cool. I will pick one up after the show," and walked away. It's not long before the woman started yelling at Flanagan, had harassed her, at which point his son came to the other side of the merge table with one of the other people from the magazine, who started yelling that Flanagan had assaulted his girlfriend. So, I mean, there's all sorts of barbs being, flung back and forth at this point. But like I
Right.
said, we'll find out. We'll find out more once all the footage is looked at, I guess. So, like I say, this one isn't probably over by a long shot either. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know, if charges actually do get pressed and people are arrested or whatnot, we'll kind of update you guys. But this one is going to be a little bit of a developing situation. So,
All right. Well, before I get into the big story, I want to cover this one over at Metal Hammer real quick. Whether you love or hate these guys, this is a pretty interesting story. So, Nickelback frontman Chad Kruger says he'll
Kruger.
never, yeah, he'll never answer another question about why so many people hate the band, and really, who can blame him? The band were speaking at the premiere of the new documentary "Hate to Love" Nickelback at the Toronto International Film Festival in Canada. Kruger admitted he's fed up addressing the issue that has followed the band for years. He and his bandmates have previously handled the relentless questions about the haters with good grace, but Kruger says the new film is a line in the sand. Asked by a reporter from People magazine why he was the first reluctant to discuss the hate in the documentary, Kruger took the journalist's microphone and said, quote, "If somebody stuck that thing in your face every single day and said, 'The whole world hates you,' like this, 'The whole world hates you,' what do you have to say about that?" End quote. Every single day, or actually, he kept quoting, sorry, every single day, every day, would there be reluctance on your behalf to talk about it? Would you get pissed off? Would you be over it for after a while? Uh, I'm over it. We made a documentary. Everybody can watch it, and now from this day forward, if anybody asks that question in the press, it's like it's the end of the interview. So if you want to end an interview, that's all you have to say, and that'll be it. Hate to Love Nickelback was directed by Lee Brooks, whose previously credits include the documentaries Terror Vision, Wired Up, and Scary in 2017, and The Sound of Scars in 2022, a film about alt metal stars' life of agony. So there you have it. So he's at this point, and I think that's the thing is like we talked about this before, but these damn people were just the reporters just ask the stupidest shit all the time. It's like badgering fucking bands over and over and over. Um, you, and I'm sure like Dave Mustaine started hearing about Metallica questions. Of course, he probably won't stop talking about it, but he says he will. But we'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Last on the show last week, we talked
Mm-hmm.
about him saying he's done talking about it, that he never brings it up, and then like 4 days later, there's another story where he's talking about Metallica again. It's like, dude, come on.
uh, so yeah,
But
but
yeah,
anyway, I'm just saying like that's why you know if we were to report on a certain band, say Lamb of God, we wouldn't bring Randy in here and just start talking about his damn arrest. I'm sure he started talking about that shit.
yeah,
I mean, same goes with a lot of the stories that we know. So if we know them, why are you fucking asking the questions? Like we
hmm
know, and like the thing is with this is like why do you hate the band? Okay, well then why do you hate? Why do people hate Metallica? Why do people hate Ghost? Why do people hate Tool? Why do people hate you know Trivium or why do you hate anything? You
Mm-hmm.
because it's your personal preference.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a fucking story. So,
Not really.
uh, I mean,
And I've been
we can come on here and be opinionated all we want,
sure. Yeah.
and it's not gonna we shouldn't. I'm not saying we won't ever because I don't know where this thing might go. We don't know the future. But if for some reason Loudwire picked it up and just started talking about how opinionated we are or whatever, I mean that's bullshit because it's an opinion. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody's not going to agree with that. I mean that's
Mm-hmm.
just like their top 15s, our top 10 theme of the weeks. All that's opinionated. So
Yep.
um, we're just doing it to have fun. We're not doing
Yeah.
it to you know and, most of the time they make good playlists, and I hope people check them out. But
Yeah.
it's not a force of hand. They're there if you want it. I mean,
Yep.
so it is what it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of feel where he's coming from. I mean,
I do too.
I'm pretty sure they've been asked that for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So it's like fuck off already. Like damn,
Yeah.
let them hate and let well, I will say this: like somebody took a video from the concert. I think it was here. If I wasn't mistaken, the Nickelback show that was here a while back, and man, that place was fucking packed, dude. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the haters are there, I don't know where the fuck they're at, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I say, I'm not a fan, but
right, yeah,
but I
I
mean,
don't hate them either. I mean, it's
yeah.
not
So I
like
mean,
you know,
I'm not a fan. So I mean, I don't waste. I don't follow them on socials. I don't listen to their
right,
stuff. I mean, talking about them like this is as much time and effort as I really give to them. But I mean, I'm on their side with this. I mean, they've been asked about that. They were in on the joke for the
yeah,
longest time. But I mean, I'm on their side. Enough's enough.
yeah, enough, yeah.
Enough's enough.
It gets old, man. It's like,
Yeah,
you know,
I won't blame them.
uh,
I won't blame them at all. All right, let's see. This one is off of Facebook, and this one comes to our friends from After Earth,
oh, cool.
who we had on the show a few weeks ago. This is a good news, bad news kind of thing. Coming straight from their Facebook page. But
Hmm.
like I say, I wanted to bring this to you guys since we had them on the show a couple weeks ago. We have some good news and some bad news for you, and we'll start off today with the bad ones. And this was from about 19 hours ago, so this is from today
Hmm.
here in the United States.
Gotcha.
Whatever. As some of you have noticed, we have had a hole in our ranks this year due to Marcelo needing some time off the band to work through some personal issues. Unfortunately, the problems have not yet been resolved, and this has culminated in a unanimous decision that Marcelo needs to leave the band permanently, both
Oh,
for him to be able to work on the issues at hand and for us to be able to operate at our fullest potential. This truly is a heartbreaking farewell from both sides, and we'll miss our brother something fierce. We wish him well and all the strength in the world to work through this rough period of his life. Thank you so much for your dedication these years. We love you, man. We'll end this post with a message from Marcelo himself. Quote, due to some not yet fully resolved issues in my personal life, I'm unfortunately unable to continue being a member of After Earth. The decision for me to leave the band was a very difficult but necessary one to take, and for me to be able to work through certain things and for the band to operate at its fullest potential, it was for the greater good of everybody. I want to thank the guys for letting me be a part of the band for these last few years and for the awesome and fun shows that I got to experience during this time. I wish, of course, that I could have taken part in the amazing journey that the rest of the band has been on these past few months with releasing their debut album and going on their first European tour being some great highlights. For anybody worrying about me not playing music anymore, I can assure you that my guitar won't be far away from my hands, but maybe just not in the same manner that it has been for these last few years for the time being. I give the band my best wishes and good luck since it's been a pleasure on my part. So to Marcus, Anton, Olaf, Jonathan, and current fill-in Ludwig, do keep up the currently great performance out there on the road and give the fans some loud and rowdy shows. Marcelo, end quote. So, Marcelo will be taking, some time to take care of himself, which is a good thing.
yeah,
It's a good thing. He needs to focus on whatever it is he's going through. He needs to take the time away to, to get back on track. And we've talked about this many times that it's good that people are starting to really just realize, hey, I got to do me before I, you know, ruin other people's lives, not just my own. So
Right.
that's a good thing. So now on to the good news. The slot opened by Marcelo's leaving was not vacant for long. During this year, we've been playing shows together with Ludwig Anderson as a live guitarist, and God's be damned what a great job he's been doing. We weren't looking for a permanent replacement for Marcelo, but Ludwig's amazing professionalism, both on stage and off, had us blown away. When a vacancy opened up, we did not hesitate to offer him the spot since he has done more than earn his keep with us, and it was a match made in Helltide, and he accepted. So from today onwards, we welcome him into our fold as a brother. So help us to welcome him. So, you know, so Ludwig Anderson is now the permanent guitar player for After Earth. So a little bit of a roster shakeup for our new friends from Sweden.
Yeah. And I think Marcus had mentioned something about when they were going on tour, they had to fill in for him anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he had mentioned something about that in the previous thing. So, but hopefully he'll, get straightened out and maybe not be back with After Earth, but maybe we'll see him down the road in some other band, or
Yeah.
or maybe they can reconcile, down the road somewhere. Who knows? But,
Yeah, well, the funny thing is it doesn't sound like it's a situation that will necessitate some sort of reconciliation.
right,
I mean, they're all,
right, yeah, that's on good terms. But I'm
yeah,
just saying,
they're all,
I
yeah,
didn't,
they're
I
all
didn't, I didn't,
still,
I didn't mean it in a negative way like that. I just
yeah, maybe, well, they'll
or maybe I should have just said regroup. Maybe they'll regroup.
yeah, reconnect. Yeah, that's a little more accurate. But yeah, I mean, they're all still cool and
Yeah,
everything. It's
yeah,
just,
yeah.
just needs to take a step back and reset and refocus and
Mhm.
like I say, whatever he's got going on. But good luck to you, Marcelo. So.
Yeah, yeah. Hope
And
everything works
congratulations
out.
to
So,
After Earth and Ludwig. So
yeah, cool. All right, so here's the shit we've all been waiting for, right? So this over Loudwire. Actually, Blabbermouth had a story on this too. But we kind of touched base on the Blue Ridge Rock Fest from from Thursday and Friday of last week, since
Mhm.
that's all that kind of went on up until the point of the show. So,
Right.
so this is kind of a follow up from that. And then we'll talk about Saturday and Sunday and what kind of went on with that, and But I'll read this story first, and then I can kind of go through my phone and the screenshots I took from firsthand accounts, and maybe I could find that video too. So because I thought that was a pretty good video of one of the stagehands commenting on all that. So, but anyway, this is from Loudwire. So, what's going on with the Blue Ridge Rock Fest? The simple answer is a lot. so last week's canceled Blue Ridge Rock Fest has been a major talking point on social media this week, and it can be hard to keep up with what's going on and separate rumors from truth. Luckily, a number of local Virginia news sources have been reporting on the various complaints and rumors associated with this year's festival. This mainly centers on allegations of poor conditions and treatment of both attendees and festival staff. Some of the most common complaints included unsanitary conditions, lack of safety procedures, insufficient transportation, extremely long wait times to enter both the camping grounds and festival, and lack of clarity in whether attendees will be refunded for their tickets. And although event organizers maintained that the festival was canceled because of inclement weather, there have been also rumors that there may have been other factors to play, such as the event stagehands going on strike, which we'll kind of comment on that word in a minute too, because I don't know if I agree with that terminology, but we'll talk about it in a minute. But local news sources have looked into many of the concerns surrounding Blue Ridge Rock Fest and provided some further details and insight from various local officials and people connected to the event, which we have broken down in below. So Venue explains why weather was the determining factor for cancellation. Why was Blue Ridge Rock Fest canceled at 5:23 p.m. Eastern Time on on September 9th. I thought it said Saturday. Blue Ridge Rock Festival announced on Facebook that the remainder of this year's event had been canceled, citing continued severe weather. Excuse me. On September 7th, a storm did roll through the Virginia International Raceway in Alton, Virginia, resulting in a sudden and flawed evacuation of the festival grounds. Excuse me, attendees, the number of which is said to range from 45 to 60,000, which we'll talk about that in a minute too. So
right.
we're instructed to seek shelter in shuttle buses, which were again not nearly great enough to supply them or meet the demand. or in their vehicles at their campsites. However, in order to quickly get to the campsite, the shuttle bus recommended shelter was the only means of accommodated transport. VIR President Kerrigan Smith responded to the weather conditions or weather cancellation. Sorry, quote: "When I look at where the turning point was for everyone, it was this storm that came out of nowhere. It was so violent and so fast uh, at once, and it was the massive evacuation going so quickly and for so many." VIR President Kerrigan Smith tells WDBJ7, "It was upon you. There was no warning." Which we'll talk about that too. So, Smith argues we're not talking about the condition of when you look up that sky that day. We're talking about the aggregate of the effects of the weather that happened: people's equipment damaged, tents destroyed, then the deterioration of the fire lanes that were had in those areas to where we were not able to get to either. Wait, what? We're not able to, either get them out or access them. Gotcha. While emergency preparedness is part of any festival's planning, Smith also contends that the suddenness of the storm presented such a challenge that he seemed to doubt that any similar festival would have been able to handle such an evacuation. Wrong. Um, I challenge anybody to present an outdoor facility that can hold 40,000 people at a moment's notice when bad weather comes in. That's what we ran into. There's an expectation that you should have had a shelter in place to put 40,000 people under. Well, I'm sure we'll all talk about that and look at that, but I don't know that that's a reality that exists, Smith claims. Meteorologist disputes the cancellation for weather related reasons. On TikTok, a WSLS meteorologist, Chris Michaels, notes Blue Ridge's statement where it said that the cancellation was a collective one made by the event's emergency management team, composed of state and county officials as well as representatives from the venue. I reached out to the National Weather Service. They said they do not suggest canceling events. That's just not something that they do. But they did send briefings to emergency management, says Michaels, who also reviewed archived radar data from September 9th and 10th on Saturday and Sunday, respectively. Michaels notes that there was little to no rain in the forecast for Saturday and that scattered showers were expected on Sunday, but the conditions were nothing that you can't play or sit through. Venue addresses stagehand strike. Well, when did the workers threaten to strike? Well, the afternoon of September 7th, Blue Ridge issued a statement informing attendees that the rest of the day had been canceled and that the decision about the next day's programming would be made by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. WDBJ7 reports that at 5 p.m. that day, stagehands presented a list of demands that must be met or else they would go on strike. Those demands are said to have included additional water stations, showers, food, and safer structures within the next 24 hours. Blue Ridge Rock Festival publicly announced the entire festival's cancellation on their Facebook page at 5:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 7 minutes before, or actually 23 minutes after that deadline. So why did the workers threaten to strike? The outlet reports that more than 150 festival workers had to share 6 porta potties over the course of 2 weeks of preparation, as well as while the fest was taking place. Meanwhile, it had been alleged that these bathroom facilities were not regularly maintained and were not cleaned out every few days.
Gross.
Yes. What have stagehands and other personnel said? One stagehand tells WDBJ7, we are literally living around our own filth in our mess that we were trying to keep contained to the trash cans, but there isn't much you can do, especially after a storm comes through and blows the stuff all around. It all fell on deaf ears. 80% of workers were gone by 7 p.m. A stagehand laments, while a worker is also quoted as saying, they're trying to control the narrative on us and trying to bury the fact that we ended up walking out because this correlates with all the other festivals that have dropped the ball and put people's safety at risk. Electric Callboys tour manager and YouTuber, Twitch streamer Tank the Tech recollected his experience behind the scenes in a 30-plus minute video outlining the myriad of reasons he felt this year's event was unsafe, noting the labor shortage, present danger to crew members, and general disorganization and confusion surrounding many logistics issues. Did VIR know about the strike before the cancellation? Smith contends that VIR had no knowledge of this strike prior to making the decision to cancel the rest of the event. Venue responds to claims of overwhelming capacity. How many people attended the Blue Ridge Rock Festival? Well, WDBJ7 reports that Blue Ridge Rock Festival informed the sheriff's office that 45,000 tickets were sold, but the sheriff's office puts the estimate between 50 and 60,000 attendees. In August, Blue Ridge Rock Fest shared an announcement with fans regarding the improvements they can expect for 2023, promising that the shuttle shortage experienced in each of the 2 years prior would not be an issue again, which we know that was a lie. The fest also acknowledged that they had more than double the camping capacity, which didn't make a difference, explaining that how this increased capacity would not result in more shuttle problems. They said this allows far more fans to no longer need to day park and use buses, but now simply camping and parking directly on site at the festival. What was the capacity of the festival? Well, VIR Smith tells WDBJ7 that there were actually no set capacity on the festival grounds account for roughly 1,300 acres. VIR President Kerrigan Smith responds to Blue Ridge capacity. As a casual bystander looking at ground level, I was like, wow, this does feel different. When I look at the drone shots and where people were scattered out, it looks very consistent with what has been talked about and advertised. I haven't felt that there was a massive overselling of tickets, Smith argues. Violations uncovered by the health department. The Virginia Department of Health was on site at this year's Blue Ridge Rock Festival and uncovered an unspecified amount of health violations. Brooke Crawford, a spokesperson for the Southside Health District, spoke with the Danville Register and B about health department's role in all of this, while also confirming no, the Virginia Department of Health did not shut down Blue Ridge Rock Festival. Environmental health manager for Pennsylvania and Danville and Southside Health Districts, Wesley T. Marshall, informs the outlet, quote, we told the event organizers that we, the Virginia Department of Health, were there to support them in public health for whatever decision they made, end quote. Crawford verified that violations at Blue Ridge Rock Festival were found, quote, around sanitary conditions, and that complaints about the porta johns and the availability of drinking water, end quote, were also fielded. It was not specified, exactly how many of those violations were found. Photos shared online by attendees showed unattended piles of trash around garbage cans, overflowing in excrement-covered porta potties, extensive lines to access a drinking water station, and other states of despair at the festival. Will Blue Ridge Rock Festival issue refunds? On September 9th, as part of the cancellation announcement, Blue Ridge Rock Festival stated, we are working diligently to provide refund details and will share that information early this week when business reopens. The only update directly from the fest on this front came on September 12th, where it said, we are currently in extensive discussions with our ticketing company and partners. We ask for a bit more of your patience as we work to provide you with a resolution. Smith tells WBDJ7 he hopes the festival will find a resolution. Of course he does, because they're paying him to use the grounds. WRIC reports that the ticket vendor eTix is waiting to confirm details with Blue Ridge Rock Festival before potentially issuing refunds. I need Tix support page notes. Quote, all ticketed events are to be held regardless of weather conditions. Sometimes weather or outside consideration make the performance impossible to complete. In such instances, the event venue or the event promoter are charged with making the final determination of cancellation and refund availability, end quote. The festival also cautions ticket holders that refunds will not be issued for weather-related reasons. So it does appear so you can shut it down for weather-related reasons, but we don't have to pay you for weather-related So
yeah, that's not going to fly.
No. The festival also, it does appear that according to reports that some festival goers were able to dispute tickets with their banks once the festival was canceled midway through. Lawyer response to cancellation plus how to seek a refund. A Virginia lawyer on TikTok who went to the rock festival, which that's where they fucked up because there was actually 3 lawyers there. If you were there on day one pass, it's going to cost you a lot more to get any sort of lawsuit going to get that back than it's going to be just to let it go. I think the festival organizers know this, and that's why I highly encourage contacting the Virginia Attorney General. She says, also directing people to contact the Consumer Protection Hotline, 1-800-552-9963, or calling from outside the Richmond, Virginia area, 804-786-2042. According to a report from WSLS 10 News, the Virginia Attorney General's office is working through the complaints regarding the festival. In an email to the news station, a representative for Attorney General Jason Meyer's office responded saying, "Yes, our consumer protection section has received complaints and are working to resolve them or send an appropriate agency." Has Blue Ridge Rock Festival organizer Jonathan Sly said anything? In a 2021 post addressing the myriad of fan complaints from the inaugural Blue Ridge Rock Festival, Jonathan Sly introduced himself as the Fest CEO. In an email reply to WSLS, Sly seemingly distanced himself as the farce of the fest, continuing his role is limited to talent buying and marketing. Um, Quote, aside from the talent buying, I'm also the primary handler of the marketing done to promote the festival each year. As the creator of the Blue Ridge and the festival created by the fans concept, my talent buying and marketing position is far more public facing than it is with other festivals, which causes confusion about my role, Sly tells WSLS in what is the only published portion of the email. Will Blue Ridge Rock Festival return in 2024? Well, Blue Ridge Rock Festival is currently pre-selling tickets for 2024's event. The festival currently has a multi-year contract with VIR, which was signed earlier this year in April. Quote, if it's not going to get better, we are not going to do the same event again. If it's not going to be something different where we know that we can attack some of these problems and address them, we're not going to go ahead and proceed with that, end quote. That's from the VIR's Smith. So and this is a cool fact is the festival is already listed in the top 15 most disastrous festivals in history. So it just happened and it's already listed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that tells you anything. So.
Well, I mean,
but that was Loudwire's report on that. Like I said, it is over at Blabbermouth too. I don't know exactly what Blabbermouth said, but I'm sure it's probably some of the same stuff. So.
Yeah, Amy, you're right. Bad logistics and management, and that's being nice.
Well, the logistic part comes from having it in the middle of no fucking where. For one, it's like if you're going to do this, you need to do it in a bigger city or something with more access to the land instead of having, because where you're at, you can't use a GPS to walk. I think they did that on purpose so they could charge you for shuttle buses. Just pretty much what they did.
Probably.
So. I think last year that I went, you had to buy a parking pass, and then when I got there, it was, I said, why the fuck am I buying a parking pass if I got to park 9 miles, or 5 miles from the venue, whatever it was,
right? Yeah,
which we never got our money back from that. Susie disputed it, but we never got anything from it. I'm paying a parking pass to catch a bus. Like, what the fuck? For what I pay for that, I could have Ubered to the motherfucker every day. So
probably.
So I mean, it was $80 this year for people to do that. I think it was only $50 last year. So,
bag that shit.
So to go around with some firsthand stories here, let's be very clear on one of the main driving factors why this year's festival was canceled. Aside from the inclement weather, is the promoter's inability to take care of his very own crew. The very stagehand, wrangler, security that you need to treat with complete respect were betrayed by one of their own. If he isn't capable of honoring what he had promised his own people that he hired, where do you think that leaves you, the guest? He doesn't care about you. He only cares about that dollar bill. When you don't have deckhands, you can't complete those changeovers in order to keep these stages rotating on schedule. Once he betrayed them, it was all downhill from there. Rule 1 is you take care of those around you and they will take care of you. And he didn't do that. So I kind of agree with that one.
Yeah.
So this was something they posted the Sunday. They're telling campers to be off site before 2 p.m. On Sunday. They posted it Saturday, but it's 2 p.m. Or no, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go back. I don't want to tell you lies. This was the 10th. So that was Sunday. I think, yeah. Sunday. So this was Sunday, telling them they had to be off the site before 2 p.m. on Monday, but didn't think to send the email until 12:35 a.m. So that was like, it gave them 10 hours to prepare. Most of those people were probably in bed. So,
yeah, exactly.
Or whatnot. So this one, another one here says, this was actually a stagehand that posted this. So he said, while we were building it, there were a few times that we were told that they ran out of food. Now imagine working in the heat all day and not being fed correctly, or as I just stated, no food at all. And when they did have something, it was small ass portions. I mean, literally, like buying a Lunchable from Walmart is bigger than the portions we got. So if we asked for a little more, we got hassled. Then to come back after sweating all day and just want to get the grime and sweat off of you, only to find out showers were broken again. A lot of us left to the pilot to shower or Planet Fitness. The living conditions were bad, point blank. We wanted to see the shows just like the rest of you guys. This is the one festival I was looking forward to working and seeing this year. So some of the guys, so this is some fans said he talked to one of the guys wandering the campground selling T-shirts. He told us that the reason the festival was canceled is due to a staff walkout. The stagehands hadn't been fed in 2 days, and there was no catering for the bands apparently either. Slipknot caught in catering for the band, staff, and crew and paid for all of it. After the show ended, the stagehands all quit. Then they basically had 5 to 6 hours to scramble to find a replacement crew, and obviously couldn't do that. So kudos for because I have heard that from multiple people that Slipknot did feed the stagehands that day after they found out what was going on. So kudos to Corey Taylor and crew for that. So
hell yeah, man,
that's fucking awesome.
I hadn't heard that, so yeah, good on them.
Yeah, and this is from the band Burden from the Sky. He said, "Let us specify the comments here. This pic that we posted was made after our set on Wednesday, which that day was great. Everything that the people went through this week is sad to read about. We were there through the storms and everything, and understand everyone's frustration. Also, their bus broke down on the way home, so we joined in everyone's tough times.
Oh no,
we love all of the rock and metal community and hope everyone gets home safe. So that's pretty cool of those guys. So." This is another stagehand. She says, we went on strike as of Friday, and we walked as a whole this morning, with which unfortunately left the staging and production companies on their own, and they're struggling to find labor. We had one shower facility for 200 plus of us, and it shut down several times, leaving us days without washing. We had 6 porta bathrooms, which were all from filthy. We rarely received trash service, and finally the catering was not up to par as several people went without meals for days. We obviously would have been treated better in prison. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
This one was kind of anonymous, so I'm not sure what their role was, but he said just probably going to continue to drop little facts throughout the day that are going to make you mad because I don't have the energy for a fully cohesive big post. Anyway, the reason your festival food is so expensive is because this was a vendor. Sorry, the reason your festival food is so expensive is because they charge the vendors they invite about 50% of their profits just to sell there. In addition, they make each vendor use a POS system. Which
it sounds like it was all a POS system.
Yeah, right. Provided by the festival that charges a markup on each transaction. Then they don't allow cash in any booth, so you can't avoid it. Then they give you a wristband to load money onto, so you don't have to carry a card. But they charge an additional fee to use that on top of the POS system fee. Oh, and they don't provide refunds for unused wristband funds, but they'll shut down the event and take back their POS systems. So that you can't use the remaining balance. This is why your smoothie was easily $7 to $8 more than the $15 listed price. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This person said, I talked to the head of security who was staying at the same hotel. He said his team left because the organizers were asking them to stop inspecting camper cars so they could get the campers in quicker. It was not in the contract and was totally against their insurance regulations. So it was too much of a liability and they walked. And people were saying, yes, this is 100% true. So there's other people that have talked to those workers. So that's obviously illegal. So I do want let's see. I'm going to go get through this before I do that first. So here's another person that talked to one of the bands. Just got done talking with the vocalist from Body Snatcher. They performed the first day. They stood in line for 9 hours to get in. The band stood in line for 9 hours to get in. You heard that, right? There was no separate line for bands and attendees. Their ground employees, yellow shirts, had no idea what was going on and were extremely rude and disrespectful. The actual production team, he said, was on point and awesome. When asked if the band signed an NDA, his reply was, I'm not too sure. He said they were treated well. Keep in mind, this was the first day. And then someone said the yellow shirt people are temp to hire local hires, so temp workers. So, of course, they're not surprising they were rude.
Right.
And we'll try to read this one. This was one of the first ones I think I got. The issue started the issue started 10 days before the actual festival began. When workers first arrived at the VIR, they say from the beginning the showers were not functional and living conditions were unsanitary. More than 150 workers were forced to share 6 porta potties for the 2 weeks prior to the festival and during the actual event. They say that the porta potties were only cleaned about every few days. 150 people sharing that, and they only cleaned it out every few days. Like Jesus Christ, we were literally living around our own filth, in our own mess that we were trying to keep contained to the trash cans. But there isn't much you can do, especially after a storm comes through and blows the trash everywhere. That was a stagehand. He was fed up with the conditions. Stagehands presented a list of demands for Blue Ridge on Friday, September 8th at 5 p.m. They demanded more water stations, showers, food, and safer structures within 24 hours, or else they strike. So this is why I don't like that word, because when you say strike, don't get me wrong, you probably know more about that than I do because you got family with the UAW.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say the word strike, that means a union is behind you. I'm not sure that the union, if there's a union behind these guys, I'm not sure I would call that a strike. I'd call that just a plain out walkout.
Yeah, it's just kind of a mass exodus, really. So
Right, yeah. And then this one was a feel good story from all this. So somebody sent this to Census Fail, one of the bands that was playing. They actually said, "I know this is a long shot, but I was wondering, resale tickets are close to $200 right now on Ticketmaster, and my friend and I really wanted to see you guys since we missed you at Blue Ridge due to the cancellation. Is there any way you can release some more tickets at the original ticket value or something? We'd really love to see you guys, but with all the money we lost at the festival, it's a bit hard. We're going to try our best either way." Census Fail responded, "Yes, no problem. We will put you on a list. And how many tickets do you need?" So I mean, that's fucking
nice,
cool as hell of that
nice.
band to do that. So,
Yeah,
um, so hopefully they got to see one of the bands that they went to see.
yeah.
So, but
A very small ray of light. Yeah,
right. So let me find this other thing I just had up. Where's that?
yeah. Amy made a comment. She said you can't blame weather on the porta potty
You
issue.
can't.
No,
No, I
you
mean
can't.
that's stupid. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking, but
I mean, with that many people for that many days, I mean, there should have been porta potties as far as the eye could see.
yeah. So the thing that I was talking about earlier, as far as health wise, there's already been several cases of giardia, which is also called beaver fever, detected from the festival. So if you don't know what that is, that's an intestinal infection caused by a giardia parasite.
Ew, gross.
Giardiasis spreads throughout contaminated food or water, or by person-to-person contact. It's most common in areas with poor sanitation and unsafe water. So, and this is how rare it is. It's fewer than 200,000 cases per year in the United States. So, so this is something they're dealing with now too. So, what I was telling you earlier, if a percentage of those people report being diagnosed with that, and it leads back to the unsanitary conditions, then you're talking about CDC stepping in, and if you got government officials with the city, you know how that goes. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we all wore fucking masks for no goddamn reason for 2 years, so we know how that works.
Yeah. We're from the government and we're here to help. God.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of problems, and I think it's like you said, I don't think it's going to be over anytime soon. Like they
No,
may be dealing with this shit plumb up into the next year's festival. So,
probably.
and honestly, I mean, if you want my opinion for it, I don't think the festival happens. For one reason or another, it's either going to be for lawsuits against them for the
Probably.
conditions,
Yeah.
or the CDC or EPA or somebody's going to step in about the contaminated situation and probably shut them down, and then or give them a list of demands that they have to meet, and it's probably going to be more expensive than he wants to spend. So
Probably.
that, and plus, we're talking about ticket sales. Like, people seeing this now, and it's got nationwide coverage. There was a news story in Chicago I seen was even reporting on this. So, I mean, it's getting nationwide story. So you got people from all around the world seeing this. You got Blabbermouth reporting on it. You got Loudwire reporting on it. I mean, you're getting attention. Ricky Ratman was even talking about it on his social media. So, I mean, you're talking about people with millions of followers seeing this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not going to be good. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think they sell enough tickets to go. Honestly, I mean, I don't. First off, the thing was that got me when we were talking about the attendance. They were saying there was, somewhere between 50 and 60,000 people there, where 45,000 was supposed to be the limit. So, there's obviously people over the limit there. And there's a post that had been taken down that says, "Thank you guys for making Friday's biggest ticket sale ever of 80,000." But they took it down after they realized they weren't supposed to have that many people in
Yeah.
there. So you did oversell regardless of what.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, if anybody is listening, I doubt they are, but this is a message to Blue Ridge. The internet's forever, brother. I did well developing, and the guy there can pull shit up that you delete 10 years ago. So good luck. Good luck. So all I can tell you. So if you post it can be pulled up.
See, that's the funny thing is like it doesn't even matter at this point because I guarantee you, because like you say, you already saw it. It's been screen.
Somebody
it's already been screen capped. Many people have that shit. That stuff's not going away. It's not
this
going
is
away.
the thing is, it's like you're going, and there's another band I can't remember the name of them, but they were walking on the grounds on Sunday. And it was like, man, clothes for weather, huh? Like it's beautiful out here right now. So I mean, they were walking around for 30 minutes with a camera on them, and no weather situation. So this is the thing. Like, yes, I understand. If lightning strikes, don't want people there.
No.
But this is the thing. Somebody in the campgrounds posted up before this all happened. They posted up on the Blue Ridge page and said, "Hey, are we still having an event?" They posted the thing showing the shower coming in. So that motherfucker just didn't pop up.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Someone dropped the ball. You have to, and we talked about this. We were talking about this last week because I remember bringing it up. Somebody should have been in charge of keep an eye on a goddamn radar. Somebody needs to be watching a radar. We are outside. Thousands of people are outside. We have millions of dollars of equipment out here. Someone keep their eyes on a goddamn radar. It is still summer after all.
Yeah. But this is another thing too, is people are like, oh, well, I don't know why they picked this day or that day. I don't either, because there's a thing called an almanac that tells you kind of what's going to happen those weeks. I mean,
but still.
I mean, it's still a long shot, but most of the time those things are pretty accurate. So
yeah.
I mean, they're gonna get the degrees off and stuff like that within a few things, but they're usually pretty accurate about the hurricane season and stuff. So
yeah,
but
still,
anyway, but that's another thing too, is you already know there's a hurricane. I mean, we knew there was a hurricane hitting the coast, though. Mm-hmm. We knew it already. So you didn't think anything was going to come of that. I mean, you're in Virginia. I mean, there's a beach like not far from you guys. You didn't think you were going to get anything, like really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hell, we got weather from the hurricanes. I mean,
yeah, it's yes. I mean, that's just another issue. That's just another.
Well, like I said,
there's paying attention to the forecast for one. That's completely different, because if you're looking at a forecast, that's okay, well, was it supposed to be like tomorrow or Friday or Saturday? That's all well and good. But if you're looking at the forecast on Wednesday, oh yeah, we should be good. We should be good. Go ahead. But you don't keep an eye on it as shit is developing in real time. Like I say, I just held up my phone a second ago because I have the Weather Channel's app on here. Yeah. I can literally pull it up at any time.
Yeah. And I'm sure they had somebody looking at the radar that dropped the ball, or they were enjoying the damn show and wasn't paying attention or something.
Yeah, someone messed that up.
And there was people like, I mean, so I mean, there's people there if got tents through on their cars and shit, man. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's damage to their vehicles,
property damage,
windows broken, and all because you didn't get people out of there in time. It's like, and yes, there is a way to get 40,000 people out of a festival or to safety. I'll just say this: louder than life. It rained pretty good bit there, and a little storm came through. They paused. We were all under merch tents and stuff. Was that the safest place? I mean, yeah. I mean, probably not the safest, but it was better than being out in the middle of the damn field. I mean,
well, hell, people were in a lightning storm, in a thunderstorm that blew through. People were huddled under trees.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, that's better than. Being in there under a merch tent was better than being under a tree. Hell, people were under the stage we were talking about last week.
Yeah, somebody was under the stage. Yeah,
which was dangerous as hell too. So,
yeah, it was. It sounded awfully creaky. Yeah,
yeah. But I mean, so they were saying, there were scattered showers expected on Saturday. So let me tell you something. I was there last year. We were in the fucking rain. Non-Point was playing and it was fucking raining. like for 30 fucking straight minutes. Like they did not say, "Oh, well, you guys need to leave." And they was trying to blame it on, well, it stormed so bad we couldn't get into these areas, and for safety, safely we couldn't get into these areas safely to empty stuff, and all this. I was like, well, motherfucker, you ain't been emptying trash and porta potties anyways. What the fuck does it matter? But it rained way more last year than it did this year there, and they never had a problem with it. So I mean, that's going to hurt them because they already have a track record of being, kept keeping it going. Yeah, if lightning's there and striking, I get it. Like,
sure.
And then people already said, like, the storm passed, it passed, and 30 minutes later we were clear again. So they could have resumed, but they didn't. They done ran everybody off. So
yeah.
So yeah, it almost seems like a I don't know, one of those things where they're selling tickets next year to pay off their debt this year. So I don't know.
I don't know.
But like I said, that's all. We're not going to really dwell on this going forward. I just want to make sure we covered the whole festival and what was going on.
Yeah.
But if anything comes of it, we'll kind of touch a headline or something, or something breaking comes up, then we'll
something major, like if there's like you say, lawsuits or even arrests or some shit like that. I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows? No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, somebody had a baby there. So.
Right. Yeah.
I seen that. I was like, what the hell? But
well, I remember you talking about that too. Like some chick said she was like 8.5 months pregnant or whatever.
Why would you go?
I was like, that's kind of on you, Yeah. So I mean, you got to look out for the healthier, the well-being of the child too. Hey, I can't go to Blue Ridge this year because I'm about to burst. So I mean,
And they said there was people there with like 3-year-olds and strollers, and now I'm like, wow, really? Like you couldn't find nobody to babysit your kids while you went on a vacation? Like
that's something.
Jesus,
I mean,
that's crazy.
I don't agree with that either, but that doesn't have anything to do with the people putting on the show. But still, I mean, there are certain things there's certain things you can complain about that you don't have any control over, and there are things that you complain about that you should have done on taking accountability for yourself. You going to a concert 8.5, 9 months pregnant, that's on you. Taking a 3-year-old, having to drag a stroller around in the mud, that's on you. So I mean, you gotta focus your blame on the right people. So sometimes you got to point at yourself with some of the decisions you make. So, but
I think Louder Than Life is going on this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So,
yeah, I think if it's not this weekend, it's next weekend. It's either happening or it's very soon.
I think I'll look that up real quick, but I think it is.
I think you might be right, because when we were up there last weekend, there were billboards for it all over the place.
Yeah,
we spent about a day and a half up in Louisville. So.
Oh, speaking of that, I don't know if I've talked to you about this before, but in 2018, I was supposed to go to Louder Than Life. So it had been raining there pretty, so the grounds was pretty saturated where they were at before they moved to the fairgrounds. So they were setting up the stages, and they couldn't get the stages, the braces for the stages in the ground good enough. It was still wobbling and stuff. So they decided it was unsafe for the bands to even play on that ground. And this was like a week before. It had time to dry out or whatever, but they said they didn't want to chance it because I think there was actually another rain chance coming up. So they canceled the whole thing. They said, look, we're canceling it. We'll reimburse you guys. We're sorry. We just cannot put you guys or the bands through being in an unsafe work environment.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's the difference.
Right. And
then the following year, which was cool, is he gave everybody an email. He said, hey, for the first week that these are going on sale only to you guys, if you want tickets this week, you can purchase them now, and I'll give you Sonic Temple passes for free,
right?
Because of what you had to go through and what you missed.
Yeah, you got two.
Yeah, so we got 2 for 1. It was awesome. Yeah. Like that's what you call taking care of your people.
That's exactly what it is.
You can say you're the fan driven experience or whatever you can, but you're not. You can say whatever you want. It's how what you do action wise. It makes a difference. So and going and running and hiding and whatever you're doing is not.
Yeah, it's not a good
answer. ETix did say that they were in talks with Brew Ridge and trying to get something worked out to where people can get their stuff back. There are some like Wells Fargo, I think, is one of the bigger ones I've seen on there. People saying, yeah, they just gave me everything back. And dude said, yeah, I actually called and talked to him today, and they said, yeah, you're like the 10th person this week. So people are calling their banks trying to get their money back. The one thing that did piss me off was one person said, oh yeah, I got all of my stuff back. I got the stuff from the vendors. I got the stuff from the merch. I'm like, whoa. Because first off, if you're taking money from the merch, then you're taking money from the bands. So, I don't care what Blue Ridge got a cut of. You're still taking money out of the band too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I mean, if you still got your merch,
why would you get reimbursed
yeah,
for
that
that? I
doesn't make
don't
any
get.
sense.
It doesn't.
That
You
doesn't
ate
make
the
any sense at all.
and you ate and drank the food, didn't you? I mean, I wonder if you're
Exactly.
getting rid
Yeah.
of.
Really. Yeah.
So that
That
kind of pissed me off.
that doesn't sound. That's not right at all.
But
Yeah.
whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
people are going to be people are going to people. We say that a lot, but
Yeah, we do. We do.
so. But anyway, that's enough of dwelling on that, and we'll, like I said,
Yep.
we'll keep you updated if something major comes across.
Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna move forward here. I'm gonna stay at the PRP for my last two here. Persephone vocalist Mark Martins Pia has announced his exit from the band, vacating the position he has held since 2004. Both Mark and the band issued statements yesterday, September 11th, on the lineup change. Those statements follow the band recently having backed out of their North American fall touring plans. Mark commented, quote, "Hi all, there's no easy way to say this, but I have decided to part ways with Persephone. Leaving the band has been a really tough decision for me to take, but I need to take a step aside so I can focus on my kids and family. The band needs someone who can give their 200%, and I can't be the one to fulfill that need right now. I really hope you understand that you can keep supporting my brothers in the band without me. I'd like to thank all my bandmates for all these years fighting together against all odds. You really are family to me. Thank you to all the amazing people I have met during this amazing journey, musicians, roadies, crew members, and many more. And not any less important, I want to thank all our fans, our brothers and sisters around the globe for giving us their strength and love to keep doing this. Thank you to everyone, and keep flowing like living waves." Okay, there it is. That was kind of it was goofy for a second there. Keep flowing like living waves. Peace. End quote. Persephone stated, quote, "One of the hardest situations that may come from being in a band is to part ways with someone that has been part of your life for years. After almost 2 decades, countless shows, releasing 6 albums, traveling the world, and living and learning together, Mark has decided to step away from Persephone to focus on his beautiful family. Mark, we can't but thank you for all your effort, kindness, brotherhood, and presence throughout this whole journey. You are and always will be part of us, and we wish you and your future endeavors all the best. Love you, Mark." End quote. So another lineup change there. No word yet on like who's gonna take their place or take Mark's place. So we'll kind of let you guys know when that happens. And then my last one, real quick, is gonna be over at the PRP also. Dawn Raid have announced that they have called it quits. The British black metal outfit issued a statement regarding their fate today, September 15th. It reads as follows. Quote, 2015 to 2023, Dawn Raid is finished. This band has not stopped for 8 years. We were touring before we even had any music recorded. We have toured further afield than we ever imagined. We have spoken about ideas of anarchism and liberation at every show we have ever played, given out thousands of copies of Beyond Chaos in merch orders and at shows. We have tried our best to attack fascism in this scene head on at every opportunity we have had. We have tried to use every platform, every moment possible to spread these ideas. We're at a point where Dawn Raid is no longer the right vessel for us to express ourselves creatively or politically, and we have said what we needed to say in places that hopefully needed to hear it. All shows from today will be canceled, and we sincerely apologize for that. Thank you to anyone who cared about this and every wonderful person we have met. We have loved doing it. All money and future merch orders will be donated to Sea-Watch, and all cash will be given to Liverpool Migrant Solidarity Network. See you in the streets, Fabian, Matthew, and Simon. End quote. So there we go. Another band decided to pack it in. So that's going to do it for current events for me.
For you, yeah. So, I did see a post on Ladder in Life. They're dealing with a little bit of backlash from being cashless system there. So
see, that's another thing, man. You can't take away that option. You cannot take away that option.
you're gonna lose money because a lot of people. Somebody was on there talking about EBT and stuff. So, oh, well, the people bad about this probably don't got EBT cards or shit in their pocket. No, I mean that ain't got nothing to do with people wanting to spend cash on shit. I mean, I do that as a form of, especially in concerts. I only take so much money in with me, and then once that's gone, it's gone, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, good, I spent all my money. So,
Yeah.
I take $100 or whatever in with me, and I'm saying, all right, well, this is what I got. So once it's gone, it's gone. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a bullshit to have people say you can't use cash. It's like whatever.
Yeah, it's stupid. I
Yeah.
don't I don't I don't agree with that at all in no matter where it's at a concert, at a store, at a sporting event, I don't agree with that at
Mm-hmm.
all. If I want to
Nope.
spend, if I want to bring cash, cash is king, man.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I've got a debit card. I use it tons.
Yeah. Yeah.
I use it plenty, but I want to have I don't take away that cash option from me. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, it's just going into that cash. They're trying to go into that cashless society, and eventually they'll get their fucking way, probably. But all right, this actually. I only had one more too. Excuse me, one more too. So
All right.
this one over from Metal Injection. Uh, excuse me. We're all aware that streaming services pay artists next to nothing, especially when some of the payout is going to labels and middlemen. In an interview with Rockfeed, Corey Taylor details why that's effectively killing smaller bands and forcing everyone to tour as much as they possibly can. Quote, my problem now, as it always has been, is that the artist is still not paid fairly, end quote. Said Taylor is transcribed by Metal Injection. Quote, uh, that's the good thing about physical copies. You have to compensate them for the work they do. A lot of that money goes back to recouping the money that made the music. Streaming doesn't do that unless you negotiate your contract in a certain way. It's doing deals with devils, and with that, a lot of people maybe don't even understand. Sorry. It's the old adage where it if fans feel like they've been done dirty, they'll yell at you like, "Well, I pay your salary." No, you don't, because if you try to get everything for free and you get it from streaming services, the streaming services don't pay the artists. They pay the fucking label. The label then doesn't have to pay us. That's one of the reasons I want the legislation to go through. It appears Corey Taylor is talking about the House Concurrent Resolution 102, because then maybe younger bands can have a fighting chance to fucking stick around. Maybe a younger band will have time to develop and become something they couldn't before. Maybe bands can have their music make money for them instead of having to spend 350 fucking days on the road. So they completely lose their home life. That's the problem. Streaming, for a better or fucking worse, is driving the little guy out of business. People can sit there and go, well, that's easy for you to say. That's why I'm saying it. I'm not making fucking shit from streaming. You have to stream billions to make hundreds. Do you know how fucking sad that is? It's insane, and it fucks over people who put their blood, sweat, and tears into this. He continued, there's a reason we have to stay on the road as much as we do. It's because we don't make any fucking money unless we stay on the road. Perhaps the chips are stacked against us. End quote. Taylor's point about the artists not being able to properly develop their sound is certainly a huge issue, as is the home work life balance. Of course, some folks will always have that grind until you drop mentality, but it's certainly not the healthiest way to approach art or your own health and well-being. Taylor also touched on merch cuts, who, like every other musician talking about it, thinks that's complete bullshit. Quote, what a lot of people don't realize is that the venues make them hand their shit over. A lot of venues, and you can fucking quote me on this. Those bastards won't even let you sell anything unless you give them a percentage of something they didn't have a fucking thing to do with in the first fucking place. End quote.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we've talked about that on here before. That's some bullshit that you know you come out and like as a wrestler, I sold merch. And if a damn promotion said, "Hey, I need 20% of that," I'd be like, "Fuck you, man," because you're not paying me that good any fucking way. So you're damn sure not getting any fucking percentage of my damn merch. Uh, but yeah, I don't agree with that at all. Like like I think somebody had said something about Blue Ridge was charging 40% merch, and I think Dima, I think is who the band was, and they said, "Well, fuck it, we ain't selling nothing then."
Mm-hmm.
Or no, wait a minute, Adema was the one they never come and got their merch. I was trying to remember the band that asked that, and they said, "Oh, Sleep Token." yeah, Sleep Token said, "Well, fuck it, we're not gonna put nothing out then." so I mean, I don't blame them. Like
No,
if
I
you're
don't
gonna
blame
charge,
him either.
yeah, if you're gonna charge, well, fuck it, meet me out in the goddamn back in my van, like fucking was it Attila did or somebody like that
Oh,
did.
man, well, more and more bands are slowly starting to do that.
Yeah, well, it's bullshit. Like you
It
should not
is.
get a fucking look. I pay you to do things. Your drinks are overpriced from the bar for one, so you should be fine. You don't need my fucking merch cuts to make any fucking sales. Half these motherfuckers in here are drunk out their ass and bought at
Yeah,
least 12 pack of fucking beer at $5 a can from your ass,
yeah.
and you don't fucking need it. You don't need it.
Not to mention the venue's getting all the fucking money from the gate anyway. So
Well, right, yeah. So yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. So uh, before we get into hitting from the road, I do have a shout out here. Let me pull it
all
back
right,
up. Pull it back up real quick. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Where'd he go? Want to give a shout out to my boys at Nonpoint. For the first time in their history, they are actually playing a show in Chile on
oh shit, man,
on
nice.
October 14th. So cool for them to be able to do a first, even with the years they've been involved in music. So
Yeah,
that's pretty
good for
cool.
them, man. South America, nice.
Yeah. All right, I got a. Guess we can go into hitting the road here. I got a story, and then I'll let you
All right,
probably kill it off with the rest of it there. 'Cause
all right.
I didn't write anything because I knew I had this story, and then I had kind of let me find the follow up here.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fine.
yeah, so then I got the story, and then I got a Facebook post from one of the supporting acts from this. So it's kind of going to be a two-parter, I guess. So.
All right.
Um, this over from Metal Injection. So unless you've been living under a rock for the last 2 years, oh wait a minute, this is different. This one's still from Metal Injection, but this there's two stories. I apologize. Unless you've
Cool.
been living under a rock for the last 2 years, you know by now that the Halo Effect is the band formed by Dark Tranquility vocalist Michael Stain and alongside former In Flames members Jesper Stromblad and Peter Iwers and Daniel Svensson and Nicholas England. Um, we recently learned that the band had completed the creative process for their second record and were in the mixing stages. Moreover, the band played this past week at Prague Power USA and clearly brought greatness in spades. However, Stromblad, who has been battling with alcohol addiction for more than a decade, had been absent from several band's live shows with the Haunted's Patrick Jensen filling in for him. Frontman Michael Stain was asked in an interview with the Scars and Guitars podcast if Stromblad will be part of the group's lineup when he and his bandmates tour Australia in November, but it seems the chances of that are very slim. Quote, I don't think so. No for Jesper. Traveling is a big issue for him, so he won't be going with us to Australia. I don't think so. I would love to, and it would be awesome. And let's see. And I know he wants to, but he also knows that if you have an addiction problem like he has, being on a 25-hour flight and stuff like that, it's just not the best environment for him. But we'll see. But I really hope so. It would be fantastic. End quote. When podcast host Andrew McKay Smith asked Stan if Stromblad was still an active member in the songwriting process for the band, he said, "Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's what I love. He brings so much to it, and it's amazing to see." Going to the studio when we started kind of recording for the next album, Jesper's instinct is so kind of finely tuned and so kind of instinctual that we can sit and work on something that we've been working on for hours and hours, and then Jesper goes in and says, "Let me take a stab at this," and it's solved. So he just has this way of finding just the perfect kind of melody for the perfect rhythm or perfect riff to kind of solve any issues we might have with a song. And it is amazing to see. So he contributed a lot to the new songs that we've been writing, and it's great to see. So hopefully. Like I said, it's good that they're taking into consideration that his addiction process and everything, not put him in a situation where he might fall off the wagon. So that's pretty cool of them not to do that. So, but we'll see how it pans out. Hopefully they get to tour over there eventually. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be big for them to do that because I think most everybody knows that they're all former In Flame members. So.
hmm
Excuse me. And then this one was also at Metal Injection. This was the one I was kind of talking about, and then I had to follow up with. So, um, trash. Oh my god, I'm still thinking about fucking Blue Ridge. Thrash band Flotsam and Jetsam have canceled their upcoming tour due to a combination of low ticket sales and logistical issues, according to a statement from Flotsam and Jetsam. The tour was a real pain to get together thanks to transportation and crew shortages. This was made worse than a this was made worse when an important crew member canceled on the band last minute, and sadly, the death knell was low ticket sales. We had a logistical nightmare even trying to secure transportation and crew for this short run, said Flotsam and Jessam. There are so many great bands on the road right now that it's making touring very difficult in what is a very saturated market. We had an important crew member bail on the tour at last minute for undisclosed reasons, but the final straw was finding out that the ticket sales were poor. We definitely don't want promoters to lose money booking our band, so will reschedule it at a time that makes more sense for them. We apologize to the fans that were planning on coming to see us on these dates, and we hope to see you on tour soon. Modern times needs modern solutions.
Yeah, yeah.
Modern times are some of the hardest to be a touring band. Expenses are through the roof, merch cuts, and screwing everybody over left and right. The shortages around how shortages abound as every band tries to get back out there post COVID. We wish Flotsam and Jetsam all the best with their future endeavors and hope they can get back on the road whenever possible. They really are a great band. Not the future endeavor post. Oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have loved to be on that tour. That was a pretty good damn tour, man. I would have loved to went to it.
Mhm.
The opening act for them was Generation Kill, which is Rob Duke's new band. If you're not familiar with Rob Dukes, he was a former Exodus vocalist,
Yep.
correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Generation Kyo is extremely disappointed that Flotsam and Jetsam canceled this tour. It is completely out of our control. We are shocked that this happened. In all my years of touring, never has a band pulled out with less than a week before the first show. We played it live at a Sirius radio on the Bonfire to help promote the tour last night, and I just canceled all of our other radio appearances. We were in New York rehearsing and loading the trailer, and we're about to head out on the road. So sorry to all of the fans that were going to come to the shows and have a good time with us. We are concentrating our efforts to get back out and see you soon. So that was from Rob Dukes. So it sounds like he may be a little bit deterred about the
Yeah.
situation, but rightfully so. I mean, if he didn't, and that's not on Flotsam and Jetsam as a band. That's on their manager not relaying messages. Sounds like, but
Yeah, it could be.
nevertheless, I mean, it's
But
always
yeah,
sad. Always
yeah,
sad to
it
see a
stinks.
tour come to an end for something like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks.
but anyway, that's all I had for the hitting
All
the
right.
road segment. So,
All right. Well, I had a little bit. This was a little bit more of a busy week than the last couple weeks. So, without further ado, for the week of the 9th through the 15th, starting over at the PRP.com, 3 Inches of Blood have announced a reunion show at the Commodore Ballroom in Vancouver, British Columbia, and on January 13th, 2024, with direct support from Unto Others. Filter has announced a Australia New Zealand tour for 2024, starting April 3rd, 24, in Auckland, New Zealand, at the Power Station, finishing. Did I say August? April 3rd, 2024, in Auckland, New Zealand, at Power Station,
damn, we
finish,
missed it.
finishing finishing April 10th, 2024, in Perth, Australia, at the Magnet House. Gel, Glare, and Initiate are going on a fall North American tour, with Pardner and Fraud appearing at select dates. Starting October 26th in Raleigh, North Carolina, at the local 506. That's going to be Gel only. Finishing November 15th in Boston, Massachusetts, at Sonia. There is a Nashville date, November 4th, at the East Room. Venomous Concept is going to the UK and Ireland in 2024, starting January 12th, 24, in Southampton, England, at the 1865, finishing January 28th in Bristol, England, at Rough Trade. Tool and Steel Beans Steel Beans will be appearing at all the non-festival dates of Tool's Fall North American Tour, starting September 22nd in Louisville, Kentucky at Louder Than Life. So Louder Than Life is next weekend, apparently. Finishing November 21st in Toronto, Ontario at the Scotiabank Arena. There's no Nashville date, but they will be in Knoxville on November 3rd at the Thompson Bowling Arena, which is on the campus of the University of Tennessee.
Nice.
Ville Valo and Zetra are going to the Europe and to the UK in 2024, starting April 4th in Athens, Greece at Fuzz Club, finishing May 10th in London, England at the Royal Albert Hall, featuring Ivor. From Ashes to New, The Word Alive, Catch Your Breath, and Eco are going on a U.S. tour this fall, starting November 21st in Portland, Maine at the State Theater, finishing December 16th in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania at the HMAC. Haken is going on a winter tour in 2024 of North America, starting February 10th in LA at the Fonda Theater, finishing March 6th in Atlanta, Georgia at Center Stage. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard have announced a quartet of 2024 marathon shows. Those are going to be August 17th in Forest Hills, New York at the Forest Hills Stadium, September 1st in Chicago at the Huntington Bank Pavilion at Northerly Island, September 14th in Quincy, Washington at the Gorge, and November 15th in Austin, Texas at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. So they have a show scheduled 14 months out for next year. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Living Wreckage has scheduled some fall shows. The first one is October 7th in Hamden, Connecticut at the Cellar on Treadwell, featuring He Was a God, Kings and Liars, and Guts. October 21st in Worcester, Mass. at the Ralph's Rock Diner, featuring Death Ray, Vision, Cartridge, and Caregiver. No, that's probably November 10th. November 10th in Broadbrook, Connecticut at the Broadbrook Opera House, featuring Haunting Titans. December 2nd in East Hampton, Massachusetts at the Seven Sports Bar and Grill, featuring Odds of Eden, and December 9th in Plymouth, Massachusetts at the New World Tavern, featuring All Sinners. A Perfect Circle, Primus, and Pussifer are going on a collaborative tour in celebration of Maynard James Keenan's 60th birthday, starting April 17th, 2024 in Phoenix, Arizona at the Talking Stick Resort, which I do believe is Maynard James Keenan's actual birthday, August 17th.
Oh, wow.
And we'll finish on April 24th and April 25th and 26th, rather, in Morrison, Colorado at the Red Rocks Amphitheater. Red Fang has canceled a majority of their September touring plans due to a family emergency within the band. Ignia is going to be going on a tour of their native Ukraine this fall, starting September 30th in Kharkiv, Ukraine at the LF Club, and finishing October 13th in Lviv, Ukraine at the Kotelnia Ruin Bar. Fear Factory, Butcher Babies, and Ignia are going on a European and UK tour, starting October 27th in Nottingham, England at Rock City, finishing December 16th in Helsinki, Finland at Tavastia. Cradle of Filth, Wednesday 13, and Sick and Beautiful are going to Europe in 2024, starting February 10th in Tel Aviv, Israel at Reading 3. That show is Cradle of Filth only. Finishing March 8th in Kosice, Slovenia at the Coliseum Club. Dragon Force, Amaranthi, and Infected Rain are going to the Europe and to the UK in 2024, starting February 21st in Hamburg, Germany at Gross Freiheit 36, finishing March 24th in London, England at the Roundhouse. Guns N' Roses have added 4 more dates to their 2023 North American tour. October 19th in Edmonton, Alberta at the Rogers Arena. October 22nd in Nampa, Idaho at the Ford Arena. October 24th in Salt Lake City, Utah at the Delta Center. And October 27th in Denver, Colorado at the Ball Arena. Oxbow has announced a fall U.S. tour with Couch Slut, Whores, Psychic Trash, Gnaw, USA, Mexico, and Glassing appearing at varying dates throughout the tour. Tour starts October 20th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at Philamoka, finishing November 12th in Austin, Texas at Mohawk. The Obsessed is going to Europe and the UK with I Hate God appearing at select dates, starting September 28th in Mannheim, Germany at the Seven Club, finishing October 22nd in Antwerp, Belgium at the Desert Fest, Belgium. Brutus is going on a spring 2024 North American tour. No word on openers as of yet. Starting March 21st, 2024 in Santa Ana, California at the Catalyst Atrium, finishing April 7th in Seattle at Numos. Elizabeth Colorwheel was forced to drop off the West Coast tour with Converge. King Yosef and Cult Leader have been announced as replacement opening acts. Def Club and Entry will also appear on the tour. The tour starts September 29th in LA at the Echoplex, finishing November 18th in Sayreville, New Jersey at the Starland Ballroom with Botch and Cave-In. Dana, what's up, man? Going over to blabbermouth.net for a few. Joe Satriani, Eric Johnson, and Steve Vai have announced their 2024 G3 tour, starting January 23rd in Tucson, Arizona at the Rialto Theater, finishing February 10th in LA at the Orpheum Theater. Tank will perform in the United States for the first time since 1985 at the 2024 Hell's Heroes 4 Festival in Houston, Texas, taking place from March 21st to the 23rd of next year. Extreme and In Living Color have announced the second leg of the Thicker Than Blood U.S. tour for 2024, starting January 24th in Inglewood, New Jersey at the Bergen Performing Arts Center, finishing March 2nd through the 7th, taking off from Miami, Florida on the Monsters of Rock cruise. That's Extreme only. Steve Harris's British Lion is going to be going to the UK in January, starting January 4th in London, England at the Cart and Horses. If that's not the epitome of the name of an English,
Yeah, right.
Cart and Horses, finishing January 23rd in Hastings, England at the Black Box. And finally, Mr. Big is going on a U.S. tour in January and February of 2024, starting January 12th in Houston, Texas at the Rise Rooftop, finishing February 24th in Oklahoma City at the Diamond Ballroom. They'll be at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville on January 24th. Mr. Big is currently working on their farewell tour. They're going to be calling it quits pretty soon. So, but that is hitting the road for the 9th through the 15th.
Cool. You know what I didn't? I didn't do other headlines this week. I was like, oh shit.
Shit, we're probably fine at this point.
Yeah. I was like, well, that Blue Ridge thing kind of went into overload. So
yeah, I'd say we're probably okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot out there anyway. So
nah, not terribly.
What I didn't get, I can always add to next week probably. So
that's true.
Oh man, I just think where they had like a camping throwdown at the campground. It's like a little 4-day campground festival. It's not like a huge festival. There's only gonna be like 20 plus bands. June 6th through the 9th of next year, June 2024, in Sopperton, Georgia. So
nice.
Not sure. Yeah. So I mean, it's right now. They're still announcing bands, but it looks like Buck Cherry, Non-Point, Butcher Babies, Taproot, Otherwise Afterlife, Seventh Day Slumber, just to name it, Mayhem. So I think it might be all right. So
yeah, not too bad. Not bad at all.
So it's probably not expensive either with just that many bands. So
yeah.
So maybe if anybody wants to camp, there you
go. Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody's asking how day one of the Louder Than Life went. So,
well, according to my hit in the road, Louder Than Life isn't until next week.
Okay.
Because according to this, Tool is going to be appearing at Louder Than Life, but it's on the 22nd, so that would be next Friday. So apparently we were off by a week, unless the PRP was off. So
they said that somebody said they're at Bourbon and Beyond right now.
I don't know.
So yeah, I don't think.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, Louder Than Life Festival is Thursday, September 21st through Sunday, September 24th. So
okay, cool.
It's this coming week.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
So I guess it's going pretty good right now.
So far, so good. Yeah.
Because ain't no fans there. Oh, cool. So he's saying that you Mother Obsessed, Chris, the bassist, is part of Mental Attack. Cypher Machines playing that campground is also part of Mental Attack. Oh, cool.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. I didn't go through and see who all that announced because I couldn't. I'm not in the group, so I couldn't blow up anything. So, so I only seen the major headliners.
It's like an eye chart that everything gets smaller the further down.
Yeah. Well, it got cut off the further down I went. So.
Oh, well, that's true too. Yeah.
No, you're good, Dana. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, hell, man, if you got anything to add to it, that's great. So, like I said, I couldn't see everything. They may have been mentioned on there. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, no problem at all.
we're not perfect. If we were, we wouldn't be human. So,
Yeah,
all right.
be
I
pretty
guess
boring too, probably.
yeah, probably. I guess we can crank into this theme of the week, which is going to be a lot of duplicated bands. So,
Yeah, yeah,
uh, I asked Chris, we kind of ran into that earlier in the week, and I said, "You want to change it? We can." He's like, "Yeah, no, we already did it." So
yeah, yeah. I managed to get 10, so
I did too. So I mean,
yeah,
if we did overlap, there's always, two or three other albums we can pull stuff off of.
yeah,
So,
yeah. There is. So
so I mean, it's all good.
yeah, this is not going to be the most diverse theme of the week that we've ever
Right.
done. Just that's going to be is safe to say. So
Yeah. So anyway, we decided we was going to do Capitol Records, so we can stick with that record theme. Of course, Capitol Records does not have any metal bands on that label anymore,
not a
but
one.
they used to be big on the metal area though.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I will kick off here. I'll kick mine off with Exodus, Thorn in My Side from Force of Habit 1992. Then I went with Iron Maiden's Can I Play with Madness, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son from 1988. Then went with Megadeth in My Darkest Hour from So Far So Good So What 1980. I don't feel like we pull a lot from that album, so that's kind of why
Yeah.
I went from that album. So I mean, you could have went with a lot of Megadeth shit. So
Mm-hmm.
that was practically all that was on there. When you was telling
Really?
me,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Then I snuck in a Nuclear Assault, Something Wicked from Something Wicked 1993. Then I went with Queensryche, Spreading the Disease from Operation Mindcrime 1988. Then I went with Wasp, Blind in Texas from The Last Command 1985. Then I went with Wasp, Chainsaw Charlie, Murders in the New Morgue from The Crimson Idol 1992. Then I went with Queensryche, Anybody Listening from The Empire 1990. Then went Megadeth, Skin of My Teeth from Countdown to Extinction 1992. I can just see Bob Chiappardi diving out of a plane thing.
Right. Yeah.
uh,
I'm never going to forget that story.
I know, right? So,
Jesus. Yeah.
then last but not least, I went with Iron Maiden's Flight of Icarus from Peace of Mind 1983.
All right. Yep. Not bad. Did have three duplicates.
Oh shit!
Wasn't the ones I was expecting though. I will say that. One of them was. Two of them not so much. So leading off, I also had Thorn in My Side by Exodus off of Force of Habit from 92. Then I went with Wasted Years by Iron Maiden off Somewhere in Time from 1986. Then I went with Wild Child by Wasp off The Last Command from 1985. Then I went a slightly different direction with Megadeth for one. I went with Trust off of Cryptic Writings from 1997. Then I had The Lunatic Parade by Exodus off Impact is Imminent from 1990. The Trooper by Iron Maiden off Peace of Mind from 83. Hangar 18 by Megadeth off Rust in Peace from 90. Then another one of our duplicates. I also had Something Wicked by Nuclear Assault, but I went with the Japan reissue from 2022 of Something Wicked. And then this one is one that's probably surprised me the most because of the other songs on the album. I also went with Anybody Listening by Queensryche off of Empire, but I mean, you could have had
Oh god,
Pet City Woman.
that whole album's great.
Yes, so. I mean, so I'm not surprised by the album. I'm kind of surprised by the song that we both had it.
Yeah.
But that was off the 2010 20th anniversary remaster. And then my last one is Vampire from Rigor Mortis off their self-titled album from 1988. So yeah, there are definitely more like Iron Maiden and Megadeth songs and Queensryche songs.
Unfortunately, we could have kind of went off, but there was I think at least 3 of the albums I looked up on Spotify is not there. So,
which is really really weird. So.
Yeah, from some of the other bands that were listed.
So that's odd.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. So that kind of stinks, but
yeah.
Yeah, like I say, not going to be the most diverse.
Right.
Iron Maiden, Megadeth, and Exodus.
It's like a greatest hits of thrash metal,
pretty much,
without Metallica.
Right. Which I mean, I'm not gonna.
Which I don't know if you noticed, but Ride the Lightning was on there unofficially.
I did see that, and I actually did a little bit of looking into that, and I couldn't get any. I could not get any other mention. Of that album being released by Capitol Records in 2002.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's kind of crazy.
So I just left that one alone because I knew it was released on Elektra anyway.
Right? Yeah. So, anyway, all right. Well, get that compiled for you guys.
Yep.
sit out. So
Yeah, I don't know.
speaking
Speaking
of
of which, before
which,
we move on, I don't know what the deal is, but the last couple of weeks, um, the playlist has been posted to everybody listening in the Facebook group. The playlist has been a little bit delayed the last couple of weeks through no fault of my own. I just want to say this: I have been trying the last couple of weeks. I've been trying to get the playlist posted, and for some reason when I try to connect the playlist from Spotify into Facebook has been giving me this message that something went wrong and we're working on it, and it's taken
yeah.
like 2 or 3 days to get the goddamn thing posted. So I haven't, this one last couple weeks has not been on me. We've been getting everything compiled, you know relatively quickly,
Do
and
you
just can't get it
how do you copy the link and then post it to Facebook, or do you like put it from the share at the bottom?
from I've been doing the share at the bottom.
Hmm.
Like you go to
Interesting.
share and it gives you a whole bunch of different options,
Yeah,
and to get it to go to your groups, you have to
you
click
got to
the
go
little thing that
more.
says
Yeah.
more, and then you hit your groups, and then the groups come up. I hit Metalheads Unite, and then like the little like the post
Hmm.
pops up, but then the link the thumbnail for the link doesn't pop up.
Hmm. That's
And
interesting.
even a couple of times when it has, I've typed in the description that I always put in there, and I hit post, and then I get this little message that says, "Sorry, something has gone wrong. We are working as fast as we can to get it fixed," or whatever. So I just delete the damn post because nothing ever happens with it. I may try copying it, Dana. I may try that. So I don't know, but just want to let you guys know that if it gets delayed, it's because I've been having technical issues getting the Spotify transfer over to Facebook. So
All right. So there is the link on the screen now from this week's playlist of the new music that was released this week. So
nice.
hope you guys can get into that. There's some really good stuff on it. Like, man, I feel like this time of year, like a lot of bands are bringing it, man, for this to round out this year. It's
Hmm.
pretty good stuff, man. So
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. So of
Oh, me
course
too.
we're gonna be enjoying it a little more coming up in October. So I mean, there's so
Yeah,
much coming out in October.
we're about, I think we're about 3 weeks out from that new Angela Sapatrita, and they dropped a video and for another
Yeah.
single this week for "To Whom It May Concern." Good Lord, my God,
So that's pretty cool.
bonkers.
So that is the link for that, and then I'll post up the link real quick here too for the. You can also go to Metalheads Unite and find all this stuff too. So
Yep.
that's the playlist from last week's theme of the week, which was chemicals.
Hmm.
Pretty good little playlist. So
Yeah, it was.
enjoyed that. So all right. Well,
All of
anyway,
all and yeah, all of the playlists are there. Jason's weekly playlist, and
yeah.
then our theme of the week playlist. They're all over at Spotify. Search for Metalheads Unite, and you can find them all.
Which I do like delete some of the year before stuff. So
Well, sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't want to just be But you can always now, like since we're deleting, we haven't deleted anything from this year yet. So
Right.
I'll usually start doing that around November. I'll start doing like the first couple of months.
Hmm.
I'll start deleting that out, just getting ready for the new year because I don't want it to be kind of just you don't want to go through 30 or well at this case you don't want to go through 52
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
52 playlists to try to find
Right.
the new shit. So
Yeah.
uh, a lot of that stuff's already on the radio station,
Yes, it
and
is.
I'm still adding stuff to that. So you can always check out the radio station, which is scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Hmm.
You can always go there and listen to that. And there's always tracks and stuff coming up, which I'm pretty sure last I heard they're still trying to work on possibly getting a website. Once they get their website or app done, whatever they decide to do, then you'll be able to see bands and titles. That's the only way they can
Yeah.
do that is creating a website or playlist. So
Yeah. They
unfortunately, but
yeah, they do need to do that because it does kind of suck where it just says
yeah.
StreamYard or not StreamYard, Truly Radio 24/7.
Mhm.
So it,
Yeah,
it would be nice. Yeah.
yeah. So, but you can always jot down some lyrics and throw it in the lyrics.com and they'll tell you what it is. So
That's true.
yeah, so I know it's a lot more work than people want to do though, but and I don't blame them. So.
No, me neither.
That's one of the gripes that everybody was giving me in the beginning, and I'm just like, huh, I never paid attention to it because I'm the one adding the music, so I know what they are. So
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, just email me, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Right.
Nobody uses email anyway.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nobody does use the email. Nobody has.
so anyway, this is so I guess we can guide ourselves over into the album reviews of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So my first review is a band Ignition, their album Vengeance. Ignition is a band from Duisburg, North Rhine, Westphalia, Germany. I don't know, like if you need all that or not, but that's what it says. So they were formed in 2014. They are listed as a power metal band. Um,
Nice.
you know, their current members are Andreas Layer on bass, Lucas Liu on drums, Christian Bruckschen on guitars, Dennis Marshalik on vocals, and Sebastian Ernst on guitars. So looks like a couple of these guys may be newer. I think the bassist and the drummer may be the original members, and then the guitarist and the vocalist came on in 2016, and then the guitarist that they have, the other guitarist that they have, Sebastian. He's pretty new. He just joined up in 2020. Um, so this is the band's third full length album. They do have a couple. They do have an EP as well from 2016, and they have a release Guided by the Waves in 2017 and Call of the Sirens in 2020. So they're putting stuff out about every 3 years. That's about average for most bands, I think. So
Yeah, it's not bad.
so unless you're trivial, but
Right.
but luckily they're going to take a break for a while, is what Matt said. So
Yeah, that's well deserved.
oh yeah, man, they put out 2 albums back to back years and been touring on that stuff. Like shit, crazy. Anyway, this is Ignition's third full length album, 12 songs, 50 minutes, 23 seconds. I feel these guys are more of a straightforward metal band. I mean, they do have some power metal parts to them, but I still feel like they're. If I had to like lean one way or the other, I would probably lean more traditional
Okay.
than I would power metal. But don't get me wrong, the power metal's there. They just it just seems more straightforward, traditional to me. Like I said, we all hear things differently. So
Sure.
and they do got an older school sound too. So I can hear maybe some power metal in there, but like I said, I wouldn't label them that. Maybe along the lines of some Accept or Halloween
Okay. All right.
instrumentally, and then vocally maybe more like a Sabaton. I know I'm listing power metal bands and saying they're not power metal, but it's it really is hard. If you listen to this album, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's like it's really hard to like put them in one category or another, which is great because you don't want to be pinpointed as one thing. I mean.
Well,
But,
I don't consider Accept to be a power metal band anyway.
Well, no.
I think Accept is more of a traditional heavy metal band too. So I mean,
but,
if you've
but I
got,
mentioned Halloween, so that's why I said that.
well,
so,
yeah. Oh, Halloween, yeah, Halloween absolutely is, but
yeah. And then Sabaton could be, definitely considered that too, probably. But I do think
mixed.
I do think the vocals on this thing was spectacular. I think they did a really good job. Very clean. Got some good range. So definitely well done. Instrumentally does have a touch of power metal, like I said, mixed in with some traditional metal. There was like a minute and 12-second instrumental through right in the middle of the album, which kind of threw me off. I'm like, that's kind of an odd placement, but
yeah, that is always weird.
Maybe it's like an intermission.
Yeah, right.
Go pee or something. Listen to the rest of it. But overall, I love that album. I'm going to give it 4 horns. So
nice.
It's definitely a great album. I was really surprised to especially when it started out. It was kind of like I said, it did have like a little bit of power metal to it in the beginning. I'm like, we'll see, and then the vocals came in. It was a little bit more, not as power metal vocal wise. So it was really a good concept, I think, of what they got going on there. So definitely, I think it's definitely working for them. So Then I also listened to an EP because I know we talked about we're not really gotten onto these much, but there was a lot of EPs out this week, so it's
Yeah,
almost hard not to catch an EP. But I
I'm
listened to
still
the
falling behind. Yeah, I'm
uh,
still
so
behind.
I listened to the Contortion Children of the Snake EP. Contortion is a band out of Singen, Uruguay. Looks like I don't know Aragal, Uruguay. I don't know. Aargau. So I don't know where that's at even at. So oh, actually, it's in Switzerland. Sorry, it's in red at the top, so I couldn't see it. so,
Ah, yep.
so there we go. They have been active since 2004. They are considered a thrash metal band. The current members are. Let's see if I can get to it because it's red too. Um, Matthias Eschman on drums, Mark Toretti on vocals and guitars. Oh, wait a minute. Just vocals now. He was on vocals and guitar. Now he's just on vocals. Okay, gotcha. Simon. Oh, God, I'm going to kill this one. Frabergoss guitars. John Schneider on guitars and Ralph Lutz on bass. Why they got to have the one guy with the hard to pronounce name? Everything else was good.
Yeah, we were doing so
Yeah,
well.
right. It's like, what the hell? So these guys do have 3 full-length albums also Solace Through Lives from 2010, Planet Parasite in 2014, and United Zombie Nations in 2017. They did have a previous EP in 2019 called Thrash Metal Domination, and then, of course, this
Nice.
this one is Children of the Snake. I'm not sure why they decided to go back to EPs, maybe, but nonetheless. This is the band's second EP, 6 songs, 24 minutes, 7 seconds. I'm going to ask them if I ever thought that it was 24/7, something you put in there purposely, or Dana says we need more power metal bands these days.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah,
I'll agree with that.
because you don't talk to them about it as much as you used to. So 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 just to say, it's a thrash band. So how do you think this is going to go? So I'm just saying. So
Right.
I definitely got a Testament feel from this, and it's crazy to say that because of Brotherhood of the Snake. This is Children of the Snake, so it's kind of like once I heard it, and I said, man, this has got like a Testament sound. Not Chuck Billy's voice, but as far as
Yeah.
instrumental, I was like, hey, this has got like a Testament sound to it. And I never put the two and two together until I said that. And I'm like, huh. It's like the snake. Okay,
There you go.
so, could be a tribute to a inspiration or something. So,
Could be.
but anyway, the guitars were on fire throughout this EP. I mean, so freaking good, dude. Like, of course, I mean, you're talking thrash, so you're talking fashion, shreddy, and just like right where it was supposed to be. The drumming was phenomenal as well. Vocals were great. It was like a mix. So vocally, it was like a mix of Motorhead and Warbringer. It was like
Ah,
so. It was really like
so
strange.
traditional.
It,
Yeah,
yeah.
traditional thrash. Yeah.
So it was kind of strange at first, honestly, and then as I listened to it more and more, I was like, man, this is fucking cool. Like I dig it. Like like I said, once first listen, you're kind of just trying to take you in stuff, and and that was one of the things I was kind of like, well, that kind of threw me off a little. So I was kind of not to focus on vocals as much as I was everything else the first listen, and then I said, okay, so I'm gonna go back and give it another listen and see what I can pull out of it vocally. So.
Mm-hmm.
So when I gave it the second listen, I said, you know what, it is like it is kind of unique, but I'm digging it, man. I really do like it. So anyway, definitely fits with the sound of everything. So the vocals and everything kind of really meshed well together. Uh, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. This may be one of my front runners as far as EPs of the year goes. So,
Oh.
I'm giving this one
Ooh.
4.5 horns. So,
Wow. Gonna give the Elevate a run for its money.
yeah. And then I'm actually going to go back and listen to some of that other stuff because I like this really, really good. It was
Nice.
really, really good. So,
Well,
I'll
that
go
that gives that hell. Your 2 albums give me some homework for the week.
yeah. So yeah. So it was more traditional thrash, I think, Dana, than death. Yeah.
That works. All right. Well, speaking of death, I listened to the new album. I listened to the new album "In Fieri" by Slave Steel. They are a death metal band formed in Rome, Italy, in 2008. Their lyrical themes are what? Death. Yeah.
Death.
Their lineup consists of Marco Agosta on bass, Rick on drums, Dan on guitars, and Peel on vocals. So there you go. I got all the easy names. I got all the easy names.
Yeah, I see that. And it sucks because you're better at pronouncing the other shit than I am.
Well, this is their second full length album. Their debut album Entanglement came out in 2015. The new album is 9 tracks long, 34 minutes and 19 seconds. So a very easy album to listen to. I was actually kind of surprised by this album. Not by the album necessarily, but when I went to do the write up, I was kind of surprised that they were considered a death metal
Oh,
band
yeah. Okay.
because the way that Peel sings his vocals, they're not like traditional guttural death metal vocals. This guy basically sounds like Max Cavalera. It's got
Yeah.
some of that early Sepultura aggressive growl to it, but
Shit.
it's not it's not what I would call full on death metal
Mm-hmm.
gutturals. I mean, if this is what death metal vocals are gonna end up sounding like, then kind of sign me up for that because they were a lot cleaner, quote unquote cleaner. They were
Mm-hmm.
cleaner than you would expect for a death metal band, because like I say, it wasn't just the full bottom of the bottom of the stomach, just guttural, all
Right.
bringing it all the way up from underneath gutturals. So,
So would you say like Dana's talking about traditional thrash or death thrash? Would you consider like Death, the band Death? Would you consider them death thrash maybe more than death metal?
probably like their
Yeah.
early stuff for sure.
Yeah.
I would say probably their early
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Because I mean
Um,
that may be why like you're seeing a lot of like when he says death thrash, that may be I'm just trying to throw that out there. Maybe that may be something that
yeah.
the band you listen to may fall into. So
Yeah. Maybe. Well, that's the thing is, I mean, this they weren't like super thrashy.
mm-hmm.
As far as like the musical composition goes, it was there were a lot of nice tempo and rhythm changes, so that was a little bit different than a lot of
so
like
so when all gloomy and
yeah. So I mean,
dark,
that's what I'm saying. So I mean, it was still dark and gloomy, but it had a little bit more. It had a little bit more groove to it than you would expect
okay,
from. So I mean, for a death metal band, um,
it's like groove death.
it was well, yeah. So I mean, it like I say, it had a little bit more groove to it than you would expect. Like I say, they were there. It wasn't all one tempo. It wasn't one all rhythm. They weren't in they weren't in the same key all the time. So that was there were nice changes of pace from one track to the other. So it didn't feel monotonous. And like I say, Peel's lyrics, he never went completely clean, of course, but like I say,
Right.
they were a lot cleaner gutturals. Like I say, they were more like aggressive growls than full on gutturals.
Mm-hmm.
So this one was a pleasant surprise as far as like a death metal album goes. So I'm going to give this one 3.5 horns out of 5.
Nice.
And then the other one that I am 2/3 of the way through, so I'm not 100% through with it yet. I listened to the new album Newman by Alkaloid. I haven't done a write up or anything on them yet because, like I say, I'm still 2/3 of the way through the album. But I did do like a quick look up. They are a progressive death metal band, and I do believe they are from somewhere in Germany. It's kind of hit and miss because I do like the fact that even though they are a progressive death metal band, that the lyrics kind of veer back and forth between the gutturals, and there actually are some 100% cleans in there. So that's actually kind of a nice change of pace. But what kind of isn't really doing it for me is like the progressive part.
Right.
Um, so so far it's kind of hit and miss. There are things I like, some things I could do without. So
Okay.
um, I don't want to necessarily rate this until I'm all the way done with it.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, yeah. That's understandable. Yeah.
I'm still 3.5 tracks away from being done. It's like 11 tracks long and 70 minutes. So it's a little bit of a journey.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a journey. I did look up the track listing, and the last track is like 13.5 minutes long. So
Oh wow.
I have that to look forward to. And then one of the tracks that I've already listened to was a little over 8. So
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, it's a little lengthy. So like I say, I got 3.5 more songs to listen to. So I'm not going to rate it just yet, but
Okay.
you know, so yeah, not too bad. But I'm definitely going to check out the stuff that you listened to this week for sure. So
Mm.
leading
That
up
will.
to this coming Friday, September 22nd, leading off with Three Teeth with Index, A Casual Intrusion with Panpsychism, Acid Mass with what the hell? Agopnizer? I guess. Okay. We have we have we have Adzis with Inver, Angel Rising with Afterlife, Anima Heretica with Descended from the Mountains. We have Anizoke with Abyss Part 1, that's an EP. Apex of Devastation with a self-titled EP. Apostolica with Anime Heretica. A set with Astral Rape, Ash Prison with Future Torn, Bad As with Fight the Demons, Bakor Kailish with The Flesh of a New God. We have Bergreisen with Orithania. We have Bonfire with 2023. It's all in Roman numerals. So
Ah.
MMXXIII. That's 2023. Bruce Seward with Luminescence, Bullet Belt with Burn It Up, By Fire and Sword with Glory. Here's one for you guys: Cannibal Corpse with Chaos Horrific, Shaver with In Gloom, Choke Chain with Mortality, Conspiracy of Blackness with Pain Therapy. Hey, Crazy Mad Ride, Life, Liberty, and Death. They got a new one
Nice.
coming out. Good for them. Cruel Force with Dawn of the Axe, Day Shell with Pegasus, Dead Feathers with Full Circle, Death Dealer Union with Initiation, Destabilizer with Violence is the Answer, Dio, the studio albums, 96 to 2004, Domino Drive with Smoke and Mirrors, Dungeon with Into the Ruins, that's an EP, Earth Blood with a self titled EP, Equivocator with a self titled EP, Eva Under Fire with Love, Drugs, and Misery, the deluxe edition, Exercise Phobia with Spiritual Exodus, Farscape with Purged and Forgotten, Feral/Crawl with Made as Those Who Are Already Alive, a split album, Final Gas with Morning Moon, Freya with Fight as One, Geist with Blueprints to Moderate Sedation, Grift with Dolt Land, Grim Ravine with Upon the Darkest Shores, Grim Heart with Hellish Hunt, not to be confused with Helen Hunt, Hammer Hammer Philosophy with The Desolate One, Hands of Orlok with Hebitudo Mentis, How Run with Wilting Within, Heart of a Coward with This Place Only Brings Death, Hex Vessel with Polar Veil, Hiem Socked with Mystic and Morke, The Holy Ghost with Ignore Alien Orders, Imperium with When Kings Meet, that's an EP, Interremo with Buried in Rotten Remains, Ken Mode with Void, Kerrigan with Blood Moon, Kill Devil Hill with Seas of Oblivion, Lakrow with Axioma, Magnitudo with Scotoma, that's an EP, Melon Salas with Zephyrian Hymns, Mercenary with Soundtrack to the End of Times, The Moth with Frost, My Lament with The Season Came Undone, Mythologic with a self-titled EP. We have Nachtnar and Wolfseer with Unholy Vampiric Supremacy, that is a split EP. Neckbolt with Dream Dump, Necroted with Imperium. Wait a minute, is that the second one called Imperium this week? Hang on.
No, the band was Imperium on the first one.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, I knew I'd seen it somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, Never Obey Again with The End of an Era. We have Ani with The Silver Line, Orbiter with Hollow World, Oros Cow with Thanatos, Oslo S with a self-titled album, Outrun the Day with Burden, Overt Enemy with Official Live Thunder in the Hill Country 2023, Permutation with Transience, The Pleasure Dome with Equinox, Profanatica with Crux Simplex, Quitter with Monument Road, Rebellion with Under the Sign of Rebellion, Reckless with Sharp Magic Steel, Rick Emmett with Then Again, Rising Wings with Reach, Restridi with Dark Solstice, that's an EP, Rocket Love with Galactic Circus, Self God with Born of Death, that is a re release, Sold Out with Pull Down, Solid Gnosis with Synthesis Silenciosa, Soulless Grief with What If This Was Everything, Spook the Beast with Guided by the Second Sun, that's an EP. We have Spurv with Brefiare, Starlit Melancholy with To Wilt Beneath the Stars, Stu Brooks with 40 Hertz, Suffer Yourself with Axis of Tortures, Torture Squad with Devilish, Train Dodge with The Alley Parade, Tyrannix with Reasons for the Slaughter. We have Your Rich Roulette with a self-titled album. Various artists: Blast Number One, Blast Beat tribute to Typo Negative. Vengeance with Sewer Surge. Wolves at the Gate with Lost in Translation. Wormhole with Almost Human. The Witches with Our Guest Can't Be Named. And Yawning Man with Pothead. That is an EP re-release. So yeah, Cannibal Corpse is definitely going to be the headliner this coming week, but there is definitely no shortage, as always, of things to look forward to. And Dana, you're right. That 83-minute song, good God, I listened to that whole thing. Jesus.
You can't get that time back, man.
I cannot. I cannot. But I had to know. When Dana brought it up, I was like, I have got to know. I have to know.
Wow. It's like getting stuck on an elevator listening to that song.
Jesus.
Oh man. So it sounds like we got some good stuff coming up.
We do.
Week, so
we absolutely do.
Just keep adding to it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Is that KK Priest? When's that supposed to come out? Is it? They said they're going to come out this. Is that this year?
As far as I know, it's supposed to. Hang on.
November, October.
Let me see if I can find it. Hang on.
Yeah, maybe.
Actually, KK's Priest is September 29th.
Nice.
There it is. Yep. The Sinner rides again. Hold on. The Sinner rides again on September 29th.
So a couple more weeks for that one.
Yeah, a couple more weeks. And then let's see. Hang on. And let's see. Where is it? Angelus Apatrida is October 20th. So we're 5 weeks away. Well, 4.5 weeks away from the new Angelus Apatrida. So.
In this moment, it's the 27th, I think.
Let me look. In this moment is the 27th.
Okay, that's what I thought. And then there was, and then who was the other one? Cavalier Conspiracy, I think. Or no, Go Ahead and Die. That was the other one. Go Ahead and Die.
Hang on.
I think that was October too. So that may be the week before the 15th or something like that.
Go Ahead and Die is the same day as the 20th, as the same day as the
Angelus Apatrida.
As the Angelus Apatrida.
Oh, that's gonna be a good week.
That'll be a good day. That'll be a good day.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be a good day.
That's gonna be a great one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess we've bored you guys enough this week.
Yeah.
2 hours and 20 minutes in. So
yeah, that's still not too bad.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, we kind of, like I said, I knew we were going to get off on the tangent with the one story with Blue Ridge. So,
well, it's a big thing.
It is. I mean, I think it's like I said, I think it's something that needs to be reported on because I mean,
yeah.
All the big guys are on it now, so it's pretty
it definitely affected a lot of people.
It really did, yeah. I mean,
not just the people who went, but I mean, like you said, the road crew showed up like a week and a half before the whole thing started. Then they didn't have food, they didn't have a place to shower. I mean, there was was shit everywhere, literally and figuratively. So I mean, terrible.
Yeah, I heard somebody say they went into during the storm. And they said, "Yeah, we went into the porta potties." I was like, "Fuck that, man!"
I'd rather get rained on.
Yeah, right. Get blown over.
Oh God.
Oh man. I was like, "Yeah, that's probably not smart."
Ew. So bad. God, terrible.
I smell shit.
Mm-hmm.
You smell shit. I smell shit.
Yeah, I smell. Yeah, doo doo. Doo doo.
All right, guys. Appreciate you stopping in with us, listening to us this week. And hopefully you guys enjoyed everything. I know like I said, I know we kind of went on a rant, but that's all right. So it needed to be done. So
it did. It did.
Yeah, if you're looking at the ticker at the bottom there, you can see that our Metalheads Unite merch store is open at metalheadsuniteusa.com, and we'll be adding some winter stuff here in the next coming weeks. If I don't do it, then I will do it while I'm on vacation next week. So I won't have nothing better to do in the hotel at night, so do that probably. So then, of course, the radio down at the bottom is streaming at trulyradio247.com/8006/stream. So we'll be adding some stuff to that when I get off here probably. So So always adding to that. So
And if you want to send us a request for the radio station, send us an email at metalheadsuniteusa@gmail.com, or, send us a message on Instagram, send us a message on TikTok. You can follow us at those two places. Send us a message on our YouTube channel. If you're one of the members of the Facebook group, send us a message there. I mean, there are definitely plenty of ways you can get a hold of us. If there is a
Yep.
song that there's a song or just a band in general. If there's a song you want to hear, if there's a band that you want to hear and you think we may not have included it, or if you haven't heard it, let us know. We will get it added to the queue. Like we've said before, we will not exclude any subgenre. We will not exclude any band, any song.
And there's everything's on there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
So-
stuff that me and Chris don't listen to on there, but I mean, it's on there because
Mhm.
it's still metal. So
We're
trying
trying.
we're trying to be a metal station that
Metal station for everybody.
yeah. So
Yep.
man, it's not going to be 247. Any genre of 247. It's going to be mixed up. So
Nope. Yep. It's gonna be a genuine metal radio station for every metalhead as best as we can do it. So.
All right. Well, I also want to thank Dana and, of course, your Aunt Amy and
Mm-hmm.
Jason and Kobe from Halo
Yep.
Scars that joined us earlier. So
Yep.
they're gonna start mud wrestling at shows. That's what I heard. So
Yeah. Naked mud wrestling, I think, is what it was, wasn't it?
well, I don't know if they'll get away with that, but cream
I don't
corn.
know. I don't know. That's what I heard.
Wrestling cream corn.
That's what I heard. I don't know. I can neither confirm nor deny, but that's what I heard.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah. So. Oh wow. Anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You got Dana over there thinking since you said you're going to add whatever he emailed us. So he's in the hum mode over there.
yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys again for stopping in, and hopefully we will see you back here next week. Don't have any plans to have anything change except for the normal podcast, but we shall see. So we'll be reaching out to some bands this week to see if we can get another interview or two in. So,
Oh yeah.
So always looking for that. So
Mm-hmm.
I've had some interest, but no
takers yet.
No commitments. I mean, I've had some people like, yeah, we'll see what kind of time frame we got and all that good stuff. So I don't know with people. So, I don't really like when you got people like out promoting new albums and stuff. I mean, they tend to be doing a lot of different stuff. So I mean, I'm pretty sure the podcast is probably at the toward the bottom of that that task. So,
well, yeah, sure. I mean,
they're probably doing live release parties and stuff like that. So
yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, but you can come on here and promote it though. So
also true. Also true.
So anyway, thank you guys again. Until next week, keep those horns held high. Jump in that pit anytime you can.
Thank you guys. Have a great week.